everything going on.
So you want to eat your cereal before you go live?
We got a little while.
You said 9:10.
I'm going live, but damn music.
When it's time to do what we do, you to stay and hold down the fam. Yeah, we'll make sure we get through. Tell me go get it, cause that's what he told us. Yeah, overnight, sometime the mold is that way we'll go. So he can control us. Now it game over, fully control us. Murders and liar, that leaves us go. But snakes in the grass, new place on the Lord. Going out for everything we showed us. Too bad before we ain't home, Lord. You know we good, promise and it's safe. Full calm is good. True on your life, watching on our way to Zion. We watching on our way to Zion. Got mighty man on my left, more mighty man on my right. Lay by the cloud by day, and that fire by night. Watching on our way to Zion. We watching on our way to Zion. Straight with wise is what it is. Y'all ask these jumbo's live. Mommy say, you know. The y'all say, yeah, you know. I put my back to your mouth and behind my voice. Speak to her what I said and watch my arm grind.
Sit down.
Hey, she might be trying, yeah.
Good boy.
It's a girl who I Elohim, who I got. Word to the guys, yeah, huh? Take heed to the wheel, stand with the frogs. How do you know who's gonna play? You're in the fathers at odds. It's either the road of life or the road of death. See the road for courage. You know we on this side, you don't know the side. On that side, they can roll with. Your actions will show who we rolling with. I just want you to sound like you're on the road of the land. I'm sure when I stand, living the way he commands, let the ruach be all that you plan. It's relief with the place. Sacrifice, always on the place. Reality to trust. Don't feel no man, we always blessed. Living to love, death to lust. Action required, belief is a must. We ain't worried about no lurking. Got my sword on while I'm working. Come on. You know yours, promise in sight. Full calm is forward. The truth on your life. Watching on our way to Zion. We marching on our way to Zion. Got mighty man on my left. Oh yeah. Oh. Lord, speak to my heart through art if you will. Send me in that dark light, shine on the hill. Peace be still, cause the beef is for real. I'm from a village filled with ignorance and my beef still kill. Give me the courage you gave Moses to lead Israel. Guided by your grace and mercy, it takes faith to see your face. Thanks for making me worthy. You teach me through my mistakes when I'm discouraged. Let your presence rest on my flesh. Bless me with courage, compassion, passion, purpose, honor, promise for your sons and daughters to flourish in this land corrupted by the standard demand. I will stand in your hand as your grand design, as you lift me to glory through the years of time. Cause what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Stuck in this family again, I get so ignorant. Between all these steps, you keep feeling discouraged. That is beautiful. I hear you say yes, and I know what's coming with you. Giving me won't deny it, I'm so defiant, never entertaining. Give us the courage to worship you, we still the lions, who men are dying for what they iron, but they can define it, and lying behind everybody goes, so rotten soul. And hell has a product, but it's too hot to hold. They playing with forces that they cannot control. I'm willing, Lord, they can kill the body, but not the soul. It's like a low, rock and roll, this is part of living. They got me listen, without you fall, that their heart is missing. Teach us the artificial, where to start the mission. We trust you to lead us and never leave us in harsh conditions. Yeah, our heart conditions, the issue with man. We failed, we couldn't rip you, we issued your hand. Grace was given, the man died, was prison to stand. Don't need to lay my life aside when you give the command. Stuck in this family
Anything that water didn't like this.
Thought you do it yesterday.
keep feeling discouraged. As you rest. And I hear you say, yes, I know what plans to you. Give me grace. Stuck in this valley of death, I get so depressed. Keep feeling discouraged. Then I ask you for rest, and I hear you say, yeah. Giving me courage. Breathe on me, fresh breath from heaven's steps. Let me see what you see. Be what you be. I need be what you call me to be. Dream dreams and sing prophecies to all. Falling asleep in deep depression. Let me be the blessing in section 8. Buildings filled with children that don't know they don't broke the beat. Drug dealing, not even dead in prison. That ain't living. Thanksgiving is giving thanks for living in the different dimension. We fishing, my name, God, Christian. Listen to this rhythm that'll lead you out of Egypt. And the freedom beats free from hate in between. So we see for you see me by example. We need leaders to take a stand for truth, life, and love. Stuck in that valley, I get so depressed. One more. We almost ready, people. One more from 7. Shout out to 7. Boy, he got a collection of hits. He's a Christian, but he make good music. Don't hold it against him. It's a real goon. He's a real goon who can sing. Listen to him. My papa was a preacher, but his papa was absentee. He did the best he could to keep his son from living fast and free. Religious rules in Christian school. The other children laughed at me. Plus, we never had much green, so I never did dress fashionably. Everybody wore the same old smile, but it was just a mask to me. I saw through the hypocrisy when the pastor made a pass at me. That bastard had a class of us and kept asking us to do nasty things. To the point I have the baddest dreams of savage things attacking me. We moved away, but you could say the tragedy had a laceration. Blacked out any memory, still can't stand to hear no pastor. Let him hit his song, man. It's a hard song right here. I be trying to sing on this thing. My best friend was my blood brother, and at 13 he got tragedy. And after he passed in that car crash, I wish that was me. I had a heart, but life ripped that apart and gave me hell. But I felt God did not look after me. All I had for him was glass. On a soul, the good and the bad. Same thing that'll make you laugh one day, well, it's gonna make you sad. And now I see I gotta walk by faith, never walk by sight. No, I don't understand your ways, but I know you always right. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. Although it hurts sometimes. Hey, I went from good kid to a good kid. Seemed like the change came overnight. Life closing with a heart that's frozen. Rolling on big boys in the building. Smoking like a chimney with a semi sipping in that big boy. The other word was blood. No love for who we close to fight. Went from praying prayers like, Lord, I love you. I keep it close, alright? I don't know if you even there. Help me not get smoked tonight. So enticed by the thought of being loved, I paid the coldest price. I done sat inside a cell for niggas who was never even thrown a kite. Rebelling against the God I hate. I blame him for my loaded life. I play with curses, even though I know what's right. I used to ask church folk why life so hard, but I got no advice. Or they just relay a bunch of cliches that don't suffice. Depressed and have psychotic narcotics on my chosen vice. Suicide about 18, I tried more than twice. Married to the selfish pride. I seen the devil throw the rice, and every day I dwell inside the cell. He tells me roll the dice. song. To the good and the bad. Same thing that'll make you laugh. I tell you what we know, it'll make you sad. Now I see I gotta walk my faith, side by side. I don't understand your ways and don't know, but I know you're always right. I surrender. I surrender. Although it hurts sometimes. So bitter and so broken, my soul soaking in misery. With no hope for the future though, cause I'm so focused on history. So one day someone cared enough to share just what you did for me. You see how differently you act when the Christians I'm witnessing. This thing called love, all of us are just so iniquity. You are righteousness, you gave your life for us. Literally. The thought that you're the one I hate sickens me. It's trick to me how quickly we fall into iniquity. Even though I acted wickedly, you still chose to sit with me. I'm the worst one. No, don't follow me. You still keep picking me. And now become so vividly clear that every test and every trial was predestined, and the outcome was your victory. I say the rain falls, yes it does, on the good and the bad. Same thing that'll make us laugh one day is gonna make us sad. Now I see. All right. By your grace, I gotta walk by faith and not by sight. I know I never understand your ways, God, but I know you always right. I surrender. Yeah. I surrender. You surrender, brother?
Yes, sir. I surrender.
All praises. Shabbat shalom to the brethren. Thank y'all for joining us for another Mark 67. I know I said 69 a couple times, but listen, this thing is new. I got to say it a couple times. Mark 67 podcast. And you know, we the idol slayers. Came down to slay some of these idols in your mind, in your temples. Gotta come and, you know, tear down some of these altars you done built up. You know. We done talked about the lackadaisical way. We done talked about the righteous and pious man. You know, and when you learn about good characteristics, then, you know, by default, you know, you learn bad characteristics. Because if it's something you're supposed to do, they're not doing it, is wicked. So we cut that down. Now we're going to cut down some of this leadership. And it's this movement in Yasharal that leadership is to be unquestioned. You know, he been put over you. You know, do what he say, not what he do, and all these type of shenanigans. But we gonna go over some things, some scriptures. My brother might have a couple more precepts than I, but I was wanting to read out of Jeremiah, because Jeremiah speaks a whole lot about these leaders that's leading sheep to the slaughter, that's causing the people to err, and eat defiled bread and just, you know, to partake in all manner of wickedness. And Jeremiah is the Abba's frustration. His frustration with the leaders, his frustration with the people, how the people just go off and just choose all these other gods to bring upon themselves, you know, whereas he's been standing the whole time just waiting and offering himself. But people choose everything but him. So, you got anything to say on that?
No, we just get into it. We diving into it. I'm with you.
Let's dive on into this thing here. We're gonna share the screen. You know how we do it. Shout out to StreamYard for having this platform that we can do such a thing. So appreciate it. We're able to put this kingdom work out. Let's do the Strongs. You know what I'm saying? So we can flip and check
definitions and whatnot in the Strongs, and let's go to book of Jeremiah 1:1. We're gonna read a couple. We might get deep off into it, but you know how me and my brother do. We gonna do a lot of expounding and precepts and whatnot. All right, Jeremiah 1:1. The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anathoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of the Lord came in the days of Josiah, the son of Amon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. For all of those who don't know, Christians who could be watching, when he said the king of Judah, this is where the term Jews come from in the New Testament. The nation of Israel was split up into two: the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah. The kingdom of Israel got kicked out first. They got scattered first. But the kingdom of Judah stayed in the land. That's why in the New Testament they're called Jews, because they were the only ones left at that time. And the other ones were scattered around. Some of them came, to the to the feasts and all that, or was in a close proximity. But most of the people in the land at the time of Hamashiach, who you'd call Christ, was the Jews of the kingdom of Judah. I just want to point that out. Yeah. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive into the 5th month. The word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. Then said I,
Adonai Yahweh.
Adonai Yahweh. I like that. Adonai Yahweh. Behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But
Yahweh, real quick for the Christians that's watching, if there's any that will see this podcast, I want y'all to know, when you see this capital Lord, that's where the name of the Most High is placed. They took it out and put in capital Lord with a false doctrine, with a false idea, saying that his name was too Kadash to be called upon or spoken. So they took it out and put it out, but it was deeper than that. They just took out the name of the Most High and placed it with Lord so people can be caught up in that mess. But it's really Yahweh, Baruch Atah. That's the Yod, the Hey, the Wah, the Hey. Yahweh, Baruch Atah. Yeah.
Lowercase is referring to him as a mighty one, or as a master.
Right, master, the sovereign. Right.
I don't need, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But Yahweh said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said Yahweh. Then Yahweh put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And Yahweh said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. Now, you know how many people would have told him when he was in the midst of rooting out and pulling down and destroying and throwing down? They would have told him, brother, be humble. Don't judge. We all sinners. Y'all watch that. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree, Then said Yahweh unto me, thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. The word of Yahweh came unto me a second time, saying, what seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. Then Yahweh said unto me, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. This is where he said he will send a nation from the north that will not have regard for the young or the old.
That's right.
For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, said Yahweh, and they shall come, and they shall set everyone his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls that thereof round about, and against the cities of Yehuda. I'm gonna start saying the Hebrew names, man.
There you go.
Get into a mode of doing it.
Right.
And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness who have forsaken me. See, this is something else to take into account. The Most High is using people to carry out his judgments against his wicked children. So the white man ain't the first ones. Every time he sent us into a captivity, it was because of our wickedness towards him.
That's right.
Who have forsaken me and have burned incense unto other gods and worship the works of their own hands. Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. For behold, I have made thee this day a defenced city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Yehuda, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee.
Hallelujah. That's right.
Said Yahweh, to deliver thee. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus said Yahweh, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, and the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Yasharal was Kodash unto Yahweh, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, said Yahweh. You see how when the Most High is with you, right?
Right.
All your first fruits shall increase, and all that try to devour you will offend him. And evil shall come upon them.
Said Yahweh. That's right.
Ain't nobody paying for hurting us now. You know why? Because he not with us. In totality. You know,
right.
as a whole, he's not. Some of us have hedges of protection. We don't fall into snares and traps. If you out here falling into snares and traps, you need to check yourself. What you doing? Hear ye the word of Yahweh, O house of Jacob. You see how all these J's are turned to Y's? There was no J in the Hebrew language. That is an English invention. That is a Caucasian invention. And all the families of the house of Yasharal, there's no I's either. Of Yasharal. Thus said Yahweh, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain. He said, man, why y'all don't like me? What I do? You want to, you know, I'm the creator of the Shemaim and the Iraq. I done gave y'all manna from heaven and quails out the air and showed up when you're hungry for you to eat.
Freed you from bondage.
Freed you from bondage. Opened up the Red Sea, did all kind of manner of wonders among you. Why you don't like me? Why you gonna go and serve things that don't profit? They can't do nothing for you. Neither said they, where is Yahweh that brought us up out of the land of Egypt? You didn't seek his face, that led us through the wilderness. So you know he did something. Through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death, through a land that no man passed through and where no man dwelt. This is also a question for you people that's in the truth, or that was in the truth, that turned back into the world. When hard times came upon you, why didn't you say, where is Yahweh that brought me up out of Babylon, that changed my eating habits,
That's right. Come on out.
My feast days, that put me on high instead of on low, that brought me out of bondage? Where is he? You went back into the world, started back to sinning again. You forgot his law. You forgot his statutes, his commandments. Whoa. It's better to have not known the truth than to know it and turn from it. And I brought you unto a plentiful country to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made mine heritage an abomination. The priest said not, where is Yahweh? And they that handled the law knew me not. Hey, this ain't just in the past. This is right now. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal, who you would call Satan, the devil.
Our Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we don't use Lord. And walked after things that do not profit. You might find this tomorrow in your Sunday churches. People talking about they know the Most High and the Most High told them. They trying to say they are prophets. They trying to say the words that come out of their mouth are prophecies coming from the Most High. But this is saying it's not coming from the Most High. It's coming from Baal. It's coming from the adversary.
That's good. Go ahead.
You think your enemy is going to tell you words of triumph or words that profit? No, he's going to tell you things that do not profit.
Even though they sound good.
They going to sound good, sweet, smooth words, as you're going to find out in Jeremiah 10. Speak unto us smooth things. We don't speak smooth things over here. Wherefore I will yet plead with you. Listen, man. This is why people gonna have to pay. This is why hell is so hot. Because the Most High is pleading with his people. You done made the creator of the heaven. He loves you so much. Everything else that he creates do his will, but man. And then above that, the other nations, if they had the Most High with them, they do his will. It's only the Yasharal that's so hard-headed and stiff-necked. Hamashiach himself said, if Sodom and Gomorrah had heard what you heard, they would have repented and changed. Not the Negro, though, for the most part. The remnant go here and change. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, said Yahweh, and with your children's children will I plead. This ain't just for the past, this is right now. Pleading right now. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and seeing unto Kedar, and consider diligently and see if there be such a thing. Hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their esteem for that which doth not profit. Be astonished, O ye Shemaim, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, said Yahweh. For my people have committed two evils.
Mm-hmm.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
Mm-hmm.
So if he the living waters, what kind of waters you think they chose instead?
Bitter waters, dead waters.
Dead waters. And hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that hold no water. Not only did you choose water of death, you can't even hold on to that. You got broken cistern. That means it got a hole and it got pots with holes in it.
They can't hold no water.
Can't even do evil right. Unstable in all your ways. Is Yasharal a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. This is a future prophecy here. Because even when Babylon came and took them, I think still some of them stayed in the land.
Yeah, they did. Some did stay.
But when them Romans came through, I think they got everybody up out of there.
Yeah, they destroyed that whole thing.
Also, the children of Noph and Tahaphanes have broken the crown of thy head. Hast thou not procured this unto thyself, in that thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy Ala'i?
Eloheinu, when he led them by the way. So he's saying basically, he said, you brought this upon yourself by forsaking him. Hast thou not procured this unto thyself, in that thou hast forsaken Yahweh Eloheinu, Elohecha? You say you brought it upon yourself by forsaking him. That's what he's saying.
And you could learn something. If destruction comes by forsaking him,
right?
What does heeding to him bring?
Come on, man. That's the flip side to the coin. Now we
flip side to the coin, man.
That's right. That's right.
So when I see people fall into these tragedies, man, you know what I say?
What you tell them about?
They must have forsaken him. This is the kind of mindset. Listen, for the remnant, man, for those that's in the truth, that's the kind of mindset you're going to have. The destruction is going to come to the wicked. It ain't no getting around it, man.
Right.
It's going to come. And you can't be sitting there crying about it. Because then you're going to say that the Most High's judgment is wrong. That's why you're supposed to be crying out and pleading with your people. So that it ain't no excuse for them. Besides the fact they just didn't want to heal. They just didn't want to change.
Right.
So all that, I wanted to say something, but they ain't gonna listen, and I didn't want to waste my breath. No, man. It can't be none of that. Because when they destruction come, man, put him in the bathroom, babe. Nobody got time for it. When that destruction come, it's gonna be a judgment. And in court, when you in court and the judge give a judgment, the people in the back can't be crying and hollering. You know what he gonna say? Be quiet. If you don't be quiet, you're gonna be held in contempt. You don't want to be held in contempt of Yahweh's court.
That's right.
You're gonna get thrown into prison as well. Ain't no bond.
No bond.
And now, what hast thou to do in the way of Egypt? To drink in the waters of Sihor? Or what hast thou to do in the way of Assyria? To drink the waters of the river? These are people in places that got their own mighty ones. They got their own quote unquote gods.
Right.
They got their own ways of life. He's saying, what you got to do with this? Why you acting like Egyptians? Why you acting like the people of Sihor? Why you acting like the Assyrians? Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy Allah, and that my fear is not in thee, said
says Adonai Yahweh Sabaoth. See, when you see that lowercase Lord, that's the Adonai, and when you see capital God, that's the name still. So Yahweh and Sabaoth and the host Sabaoth. So Adonai Yahweh Sabaoth. He said, and that thy fear is not in me. So he calling them unwise, because the beginning of wisdom is the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. So he said they're not even wise. These are silly people. Lord, that's the Adonai. RD, that's the Adonai. And when you see,
oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's good. See, he says, and that my fear is not in thee. What is the beginning of wisdom?
I fear him. I believe what he say.
Right. So wisdom, the beginning of the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. So if they don't even have the fear, because he said they don't, it's not even an if. He said, and it is, they don't, the fear of him is not in them. They are not wise.
Fools.
They're fools, man.
You gotta be a fool if you ain't wise.
Right. To forsake the fountain of living water. Come on, man. The fountains of living waters. But go ahead.
For of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou saidest, I will not transgress. See, a lot of people, when tribulation come upon them, they go to praying. Y'all save me. You know, I won't do it no more if you just get me out of this. Don't think this is just all Old Testament. No, some of you niggas is doing this today. If I could just get this job, if I could just, get out of this prison, get out of this jail cell, I won't transgress. I keep your law. I be a minister. I go spread your word. These go talking about all kind of stuff, boy, when they're in that foxhole. So I will not transgress. When upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot. He's saying, listen, after I done saved you, after I done broke your yoke and burst thy bands, these are things that restrain you and burden you. He said, after I done freed you from all your burdens, you went on every high hill and under every green tree and played the harlot. That's right. Prostitute. You sold yourself out here selling your soul for money and for lust, for power. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned unto the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? You're like, hold on. What I planted, you turned out to be something totally different. I planted you an apple tree. I come back around, you full of oranges.
Strange.
Strange. So I don't know you.
Right. I told you not to have no other ones before me, not to worship any strain. I turn around and you got multiple deities under every green and verdant tree playing the harlot. Come on, man.
For though thou wash thee with Iniquity. I don't know what Iniquity is. Hold on. We're going to look that up. 22. Nether, mineral, potash, so-called from effervescing with acid.
Not true.
Oh.
Okay, so it's a thing for planting. It's a mineral or something that they use for planting. Is it right? Is it for planting?
It's for cleaning a plant. It's
cleaning
kind of like some apple cider vinegar or something. Know how you a pesticide or something like that. I think I would guess. Hold on. What was we at right there? 22.
22.
For those thou wash thee with Iniquity, it's a cleansing, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, said Adonai Yahweh. How canst thou say I am not polluted? This is what people say. It's what the Christians say. It's what the Muslims say. All these people that got other Allahims, other gods. This is what they say. I'm not polluted. This is what the Comedics say. The Comedics, boy, listen. Them brothers is bold and talk about the Most High. Yeah, man. Bold in it. Then they gonna make they women Allahims. We know who did that. The Babylonians started that mess. Worshiping Isis and all that. But anyway, that's another Allahim, man, that doth not profit. I have not gone after Balaam. That's what they say. How can you say I'm not polluted? I have not gone after Balaam. You know why he knows? Because you ain't went after him. If you're going after him, you're going after Balaam. If you ain't going after the Most High Yah of the scriptures, and look, he's directly connected to his statutes and commandments and judgments. You can't separate them. That's why Hamashiach said, if you've seen him, you've seen the Father. Because he's his word. He can't separate from his word.
That's right. That's right. That's good. Bring it out. That's good.
That's what made Christianity so wicked. Because they saying you can separate the word. You can separate his laws, his statutes, and commandments. You cannot separate the two.
Right.
So if you doing anything, you saying you got the Most High without his statutes and commandments, you ain't got the Most High.
That's it. You lying to yourself. You an illusion and a delusion.
You an illusion and a delusion. Refer to the last video. See thy way in the valley. Know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary traversing her ways. We got to see what a dromedary is. 23. What is a dromedary? Bikra, feminine. A young she camel. Okay. It's female camel.
See, we so unfamiliar with the ways of a camel being over here in captivity, but in our own land, you know, camels was around us, and it was so common, like, you know, having dogs around or something. You know what I mean? A horse. You know what I mean? They had camels. They used camels. So to see a female camel and to see how she behave and see what she do, that would give you an idea of what he's saying. How the people were, like a female camel. I have to look that up one time. I should see what
with dromedary. I don't think nothing about a camel is fast. So it's like it's odd. It's like something you don't see. Like you a swift camel traversing her way. Strange thing. A wild ass used to the wilderness that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure. In her occasion, who can turn her away? All they that seek her will not weary themselves. In her month they shall find her. So it's a horse, a wild horse. Like a wild horse is hard to catch and hard to tame. That's what he compares his people to. People is out here living untamed. The commandments is a taming. It's a yoke and a bond. Hamashiach told us it was a yoke and a bond, but he said, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." You know, the commandments ain't grievous, man. But you can't even bring an easy yoke and a light burden to a wild ass. You know why? Because it love its freedom. It's out here snuffing up the wind at its pleasure. How you gonna tell a Christian, listen, man, that bacon you eat every morning, you ain't supposed to be eating that thing, man. That thing wicked. He's like, man, I snuff up the wind at my pleasure. I don't know what you talking about. My pastor is completely fine with me eating this bacon. They had a barbecue yesterday. Get behind me. That's how, listen. They gonna say we wicked, we evil. Get behind me, Satan. What you mean I can't have this pork?
That's crazy.
That's how they be.
That is crazy for real, man.
See, and to bring all this into the topic of today, your pastors and your leaders supposed to be teaching y'all this stuff, but they not. Your pastors and your leaders supposed to be teaching you that it's wrong to be a wild ass in the wilderness. You need a leader. You need not a leader. Your shepherd is supposed to be the Most High, and you're supposed to be guided by His commandments and His statutes.
Right, by His word. That's right.
By His word.
That's right.
A wild ass ain't guided by nothing. It do what it want to at its own pleasure. This is a bad thing.
Right.
Verse 24.
It says, in her occasion, who can turn her away? All that seek her will not weary themselves. In her month, they shall find her. She make herself known.
In her time of uncleanness. When she went around dropping blood everywhere. Then you can track her down.
All in a time, I was gonna say, all in a time of heat. You know, they send out pheromones and stuff like that too when they're in the heat and stuff like that. And then they find that. They find that.
Behold, thy foot from being unshod.
Withhold out.
Sorry. Withhold thy foot from being unshod and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. You know what my mama told me, man? He said, I've been living this way all my life. Ain't no point in changing now.
It's cold.
Or it's going to be hard for me to change now. I've been doing this all my life. That's exactly what this is saying. That's exactly what this is saying. There is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers. This is all my life, and after them will I go. I'm too old to change now. I'm going to stick with these strangers, with these strange gods, with these strange behaviors. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. Now listen, back to 25, man, listen. A lot of our people won't hear the truth because it's coming from us. It's coming from people who they know them before in their wickedness. So when you come in righteousness now, they sin, hang on to your former sin. So it's like they want to allow themselves to see the new you. Because they sin's going to say, man, they used to do such and such and such and such. They ain't nobody. A Christian thing, you got to come to them having never seen ever before in life to tell them something about themselves. You better not have never done nothing. But meanwhile, they'll sit up in these churches under these pastors they're sleeping with the women of the congregation, stealing all their money, doing all manner of abominations as far as the scriptures is concerned. But they'll listen to them though. Old sinners. Ain't nothing, ain't never been nothing, ain't never gonna be nothing. They'll listen to them. But
there's people like that even in what they call the walk. It's people like that over here.
Talk about it.
That's crazy, man. You can't tell them nothing because they think, oh, you used to woo woo woo. And instead of hearing the word of the Most High Yah and going forth and studying and searching and stuff like that, they use that as an excuse, but they don't realize that they're using it to their own damnation as an excuse because they refuse to heed. Because when they're faced with their judgment, didn't I send my servant to you what you gonna say? I didn't know that was your servant. How was I supposed to know? Now you should have listened.
Go deeper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Yasharal ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests and their prophets, saying to a stock,
Man.
Thou art my father.
Oh man.
And to a stone, thou hast brought me forth. They shall serve wood and stone.
Mm-hmm.
For they have turned their back unto me and not their face.
Right.
So they didn't gave me their back and not their face.
Right. And turning your back against him, real quick, turning your back against him is turning your back against his instructions that he gave. When you refuse to listen to his instructions and follow his instructions, you're basically turning your back against him. When you're walking in your own ways and not listening to his, you're turning your back against him. Not your face. Because when you turn your face, that means you're turning to be attentive, to listen, to hear, to heed. And then when you heed and hear, you do.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
But in the time of their trouble, they will say, Arise and save us.
Man, that's natural. Everybody do that. They look. I done met a guy one time real quick. He said he was an atheist till he almost went over a bridge. Then he called on what he thought was. Oh yeah, now you want to call. You want some saving now, don't you? But all that time you wasn't listening and following no stuff. But when it's time for you to get saved and get help, you want to call out.
Ain't no atheists in foxholes.
Man.
But where are thy gods?
Right.
That thou hast made thee? Let them arise. If they can save thee in the time of thy trouble, for according to the number of thy cities art thy gods, O Yehudah.
Mm.
See, this right here, man, listen, man. When our people get their next judgment, because it's coming, man. They gonna confuse it. It's so many who gonna confuse the coming judgment with Jacob's trouble. It's not. It's not, man. Jacob's trouble as a whole was that process of forgetting your inheritance. There was the process to make us forget our inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
He had to utterly destroy us. Right?
Right.
This is a new season we coming into. Now we coming into remembering our inheritance. That's what the awakening is about.
Mm-hmm.
And once there is an awakening, then it's going to be the separation of the goats and the lambs, the righteous and the unrighteous.
Mm-hmm.
And then the unrighteous are going to have to get another judgment because they done followed after these strange gods.
Mm-hmm.
They out here all in Islam, they all in Christianity, they Buddhists, they atheists, they, LGBT. These people, you don't think these people got to pay for what they done? The Most High been killing over the centuries behind wickedness. You don't think it's some more coming?
Mm.
You think it's over with?
But the Christians say he the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Yeah, that should tell you if he knocked off wickedness then, he gonna knock it off now.
Yes. And I'm talking to my people first, because for one, the whole world got to pay.
Yeah.
He's gonna make Yehudah and Yasharal pay first.
Mm-hmm. Yep, judgment begins in the house of Yah first.
We got to get it first, man. So when the righteous see the wickedness coming upon, see, listen, that's another thing, man. We got to watch these movements and stuff we get behind, man. And because it's a Christian mindset that when stuff starts to happen to people, you crying out for justice and all that. The true judge and the true one that brings righteous judgment is the Most High Yah.
Absolutely. And another thing to confirm that too is that don't nothing happen on this earth unless Yahweh give his consent to it first. So he already gave his consent to it. If it fell down on this earth, it was him giving his consent to it and saying yay. And if it didn't happen, it was him saying nay.
That's what I'm saying, man. We can't. That's why you got to change now. That's why you got to, analyze your life now and see if you're being given living waters.
Right.
Or are you being given bondage, man? Because a lot of people in these congregations, they in bondage to their leaders, man. Not all leaders are bad. Not all leaders are wicked. There are some out there that's really trying to make a man and a woman whole again and send them. The best leader teaches one how to love and serve the Most High Yah the most and not to serve them the most.
Mm-hmm.
If he not teaching you how to be a better child of the Most High Yah and not always talking about submission to him, but submission to Yah, submission to Yah is going to make you respect real leadership.
That's right.
But when you get a proper relationship with Yah, you gonna call the question what's wrong, man. If a person ain't leading you right, if a person moving wrong, you got the right to question. The Most High say to try him. You don't think you ain't supposed to try some man? Got to prove all things. That includes your leader.
That's right. Let me share this for this chapter and verse real quick. This is Psalms 24:1. This is very short. I want to confirm something that was just said earlier. This is the Psalm of Dawood, our ancestor. Check this out. The earth is Yahweh's and all that it holds, the world and its inhabitants. For he founded it upon the sea, the waters, set it on the neither streams. Who may ascend to the mountains of Yahweh? Who may stand in his Kadash place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who has not taken a false oath by my life or sworn deceitfully. He shall carry away a barakah from Yahweh, a just reward from all his deliverer. Such is the circle of those who turn to him, Yakub, who seek your presence, Selah. O gates, lift up your heads. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. The earth is Yahweh's and the fullness thereof. Okay, hold on, my bad. I was wanting to read something, man, and I got too excited on the thing, but the earth is Yahweh's and the fullness thereof. I'm really going to the scripture, to the Psalms, where it tells you that Yah don't nothing happen on this earth unless he give his consent to it. That it's just not happening by chance. No matter if it's good or bad, killings of people or whatever. Don't nobody know. People crying out and stuff like that. Like you said, wicked people doing their things. I'm for the bring this out. Go ahead, read, Doc. I'll bring it out a little bit. I'm just to make sure I got it right.
I want to hit that 27 again.
Okay.
Saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone thou hast brought me forth. These statues and these creations that people make, they're making them idols. There was a time, with these crosses and things, people see a cross, they'll cross themselves, their head to their stomach, each chest plate, they'll give reverence
Lamentation
to wood and stone. As if it created them, as if it brought them forth, as if it's their father, and turn their back unto me and not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they will say, arise and save us. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise. If they could save thee in the time of thy trouble, for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Yehuda.
Right.
Wherefore will ye plead with me? Ye all have transgressed against me, said Yahweh. In vain have I smitten your children. They received no correction. Your own sword hath devoured your prophets. Whose sword? Whose sword killed the prophets? Was it the heathen sword?
No, that was Yahweh's sword.
Well, it was carried out by the people.
Yeah, it was carried out by the heathen, by the nations, 45. My bad.
All killed their own prophets. Their prophets brought the word of the Most High. They didn't want to hear that word, so they killed them.
Right.
They killed all the prophets. That's why he said, your own sword hath devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. And it continued up until Hamashiach and even the apostles.
Right.
We killed our own people. So now in the awakening, we want to act like we're just so great and so wonderful. Now I realize that we've been wicked this whole time. That's what he's talking about. The history of our wickedness against him. It's been since the beginning. And it's always been a remnant who stood up and was righteous, man. The whole book is about him just being like, man, y'all wild. Y'all wild asses. O generation, see ye the word of Yahweh. Have I been a wilderness unto Yasharal, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are lords. We will come no more unto thee. See? You know what people say? I'm a God. Which the scripture does say that. But we little baby gods. We need to give reference to the most high Allah. We little baby Allahims. Okay? We not equal, and we damn sure ain't greater than Yahweh at all. But we act like we are, though. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Also in thy skirts is found the blood of the souls of the poor innocents. I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Wow. This is the mindset of some Christians here. Even of some people that's in the truth. That's another thing too, man. When I say Christian all the time, I need to start being inclusive of some of the people in this walk that don't call them Christians. Because it's a lot of slackness because of the bad teaching.
Right.
See, you feel like because you know you Israel now, that you Yasharal now, you feel like you innocent. That's why you got to watch somebody that's always talking about the wickedness of the other nations, about the wickedness of Esau, the wickedness of Ishmael and the Moabites and the Gog and the Magog and all that. The Most High ain't talking about them. What we've been reading, he's not talking about them. He's not talking about the wickedness of Esau. He's talking about the wickedness of Yasharal and of Yehuda. Let's not forget that, man. And it continues. It's even worse now. It said the last days will be like a time never before seen. We doing worse abominations now. So don't come into this walk and tell me how great it is to find out who you are. Because they telling you who you are as a symbol of pride. No. It needs to be a symbol of, like, I'm a part of this. You want to talk about the kings and queens? What about those that have the blood of the souls of the poor innocent? What about those whose own sword have slain their prophets? What about that?
Right.
Don't just hop into the kingdom and the priesthood. That was the few. Only a handful was righteous kings. Only a handful was righteous priests. You forgot Hamashiach came and convicted the majority of the priests of his time, of his day, for leading the people astray. So don't come telling me about how great it is to be Yasharal, man. Now check yourself. How great it is to have the commandments of the Most High Yah, and how great it is to hold them near and dear to your heart, and to work them out, to live them. That's what's great, is the action. I know birthright. Birthright ain't gonna save you. If anything, the birthright gonna get you a stronger ass whipping. You're supposed to know better.
Go ahead, preach then, huh? Break it up.
It's tired of it, man. All these people so happy to have these celebrities speaking on that we the people. Okay, we the people, and what? We the people that got the blood of the souls and the poor innocents.
Right. We were the people.
Our prophets.
Right. They was the people back then when they was doing what they was doing. They were the people when he talking to them right now in Yirmiyahu. What are you talking about?
I'm tired of it, man. Listen, man, the Most High made me, he brought me into this walk and kept me separated from these mindsets and these groupings that people got. Because if I would have came up under some of these people, some of these groups in Yasharal, I'd have took on some of their ways and some of their ways of thinking, man. This whole, how good it is to be an Israelite and all this whole stuff. Listen, man, that sound good, man. That's prosperity preaching, and it's true.
Sound good.
How much caution do I need now? Because I see what my forefathers done. I see how easily they did it. How easily they killed the prophets. How easily they killed the poor and the innocent.
Oh, and
they worship false gods.
Mm-hmm. And woe to them that follow in the same path of their ancestors. Because look, he visited the iniquities of the parents to the third and fourth generation of them that hate him. So what you doing is, if you walking in that same way of disobedience and stubbornness and stiffness that your ancestors walked in, that the stubborn ancestors walked in, you're about to get a full smackdown of all that they had to go through and everything upon yourself because you walking in that same path, producing that same fruit. You are.
That's why, man, it bothers me, man. That's why we gotta come. That's why we gotta come and tear these idols down, man. At least it can be said. I don't care if I don't get no views. Nobody want to watch it. Whatever is out here, and a lot of you click on the video and you click off whatever. You ain't got time. But if I was on here telling you about how great he is and how the Ruach gonna come and strengthen you and Barak your hand and all this, I have 1 million views and 2 million likes. You like it twice. But that's not what I'm here for. I don't see where you get 1 million likes at. I don't see where you so great and so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, shout out to those that are walking in a straight path.
Right.
You don't need this medicine. You don't need this stern rebuke.
Right.
But it's too many that do need it. That's why we here. 35. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee. Because thou sayest, I have not sinned. He gonna come and show you that you have sinned. That's what the whole conversation been. That's what you have done against him. You know who he used to tell you that? He used prophets. He used men.
Speak about it, Op.
That's what our job is, to come tell you what you done. He always send the prophets to bring a stern word, and then he bring a word of promise to the righteous. It always, it ain't never just all bad. It ain't just all judgment. We don't come to bring all judgment.
Right.
We include the promises. We include the barakas in this thing. But you're gonna only get a taste of that. Some people gonna give you all gifts, all love and barakas, and a taste of judgment. No, it's the opposite over here. Why gaddest thou about so much to change thy way? Look up that gaddest, man. 36. Oh, it ain't even a thing for that. Well, it probably mean waitest. Let's look it up, man. I don't know. I don't need to be assuming things. What's going on? That's like some old English stuff, I bet. Gaddis meaning to have roamed, to have gone away. To have roamed, to have gone away. Why gettest thou changed thy way? Okay. Pretty much to avoid. You're out here avoiding fixing yourself. You know, oh yeah. Why are you roaming? Why are you avoiding changing your ways? Thou also shalt be ashamed of Egypt, as thou wast ashamed of Assyria. Yea, thou shalt go forth from him, and thine hands upon thine head. Ain't this how they walk when the police got them hemmed up? When they got them in these prison houses? Put your hands on your head when you walk. When you're in captivity or in distress. When these women crying out in these funerals, let them put their hand on their head. It's in shame, it's in torment, it's in heavy-heartedness, heavy burdens. Thou shalt go forth from him in thine hands upon thy head. For Yahweh hath rejected thy confidences, and thou shalt not prosper in them. They say if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again unto me, saith Yahweh. Hallelujah, man.
Hallelujah.
You don't hold a grudge that he's ever willing to be rejoined to his children. That he'll bring back home, you know, a polluted wife, but only if she changed her ways. He's not saying come back to him and cheat on him some more, Christian. He's saying to repent and change and become a righteous wife. The one he married in the first place. Return to your first love before you went astray. That's what he's saying. That's why you got to be a child. Everything is new to a child. It's only when you get grown and learn about other ways and other things that they go astray. Your submission leave you. You become independent. You don't have no yoke. You don't have no bond. That's that's a word right there.
Speak on it. Speak on it, Doc.
When they talk about the wild ass, right? That's like these single women that ain't got a mind to serve the Most High. That don't mean you got to have a husband to get into the kingdom, but you need to have a purpose. If your purpose ain't to serve the Most High, then you out here loose. You out here like a wild ass out here sniffing the air. You need a purpose. Your purpose to serve. You don't serve somebody. You need to be serving your husband in righteousness, or you need to be serving the Most High. You need to be setting yourself apart to be Kodash.
That's right.
Can't be a wild ass. Listen, the Most High ain't for your independence. As far as, your worship and your service. Ain't no independence. It ain't no do as thou wilt. It's an abomination. You're going to do what somebody say. You're going to do what the Most High say, or you're going to do what Hasatan say.
That's it.
Just the lust of the flesh. Ain't no two ways. You hot or cold. Somebody, it's many ways to serve y'all. In righteousness, everybody don't have to preach, but everybody got to be Kodash from sin.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one that gives you the outline. You know what? Let me keep on. You know how I get. I go on a tangent. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places and see where thou hast not been lain with. Slept with everybody, man. In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Therefore the showers have been withholden, and there hath been no latter rain, and thou hadst a whore's forehead. Thou refusest to be ashamed. Wilt thou not from this time cry unto me, my father? Thou art the God of my youth. He's still waiting on you to cry out. This is you've been better off if he didn't care so much. Then you could say, you know, you needed a person to kill. You needed more leniency. You needed more help. That's why hell is so hot, because he's giving you every area and opportunity to come back to him. So when he sentenced you to that final judgment, he can say, I've done all that I could do, and you still turned away from me. Go burn. Go to hell. He can tell you that with confidence. Because it's only so long you can slap somebody's hand away. It's only so long you can offer a hug and somebody offer a slap. It's only so long. Our Abba ain't no different.
Right. Come on, man.
He keeps saying, man, he gonna plead. He gonna, take you back if you change. He doing the Lenny Williams. He please. Listen, man, he wants you back. But in righteousness, though, he don't want you. He don't want you just to have you. He wants you back like how he demands you to be.
Right.
Think just because you pray, think just because you go to church, because you go to service, that's enough. No, it's a whole manner of being that he desires from you.
That's right.
He wants it all. And he's not going to be happy till he get it all. But he's giving you every opportunity to get it right.
Mm-hmm. To give your all.
Will he reserve his anger forever? Listen, he tell you, will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldest. He said, man, do you think he going to stay quiet? You think he going to keep taking these slaps? Yahweh said also unto me, in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Yasharal hath done? She has gone up upon every high mountain, under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me, but she returned not.
Mm-hmm.
The precept gonna come in a couple verses. We ain't got to jump from book to book.
That's right.
Man. Mm-hmm. This is a precept for several verses back and several chapters back.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna precept itself. The truth don't need support, man. I'm telling y'all, right. This precept doctrine got out of hand. You got people creating whole doctrines of foolishness because they take two sentences out of a whole book and put it. They got a whole doctrine behind it.
Got a whole doctrine on two sentences out of a whole book.
I'm getting tired of that too, man. That's getting real out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Yehuda saw it. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Yasharal committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. And yet her treacherous sister Yehuda feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. She served wood and stone.
That's right.
And yet, for all this, her treacherous sister, you see how the Most High word can't go void? What he told to Abraham is the same thing that's going on now. They shall serve wood and stone. They did it then. They did it in Babylon and Assyria, and they doing it now in America. Stone in Mecca. The wooden cross.
That's
Ain't nothing to the sun. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Yehuda hath not turned unto me with her whole heart. He always pleaded, always saying, well, yeah, I'm here. Come back, keep my law, keep my word with your whole heart.
With your whole heart.
But faintly said Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto me, the backsliding Yasharal hath justified herself more than treacherous Yehuda. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Yasharal, said Yahweh, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, said Yahweh, and I will not keep anger forever. Always saying, man, come back. He said, I'm merciful. It makes me mad that you see the creator of the heavens and earth saying, man, listen, man, just come back, man. Just come back. And then you see the boldness that niggas act with. See how boldly they discredit him, man. These Kemet dudes, man, how they act and how they talk about the Most High, man. How they try to mock him. Man. Only acknowledge thine iniquity that thou hast transgressed against Yahweh thy Elohim and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and yet have not obeyed my voice, saith Yahweh. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and will bring you to Zion. Letting you know, everybody ain't gonna hear this thing, man. Everybody is not gonna hear this thing. You know what's gonna happen to the rest of that city when he take the two?
Destruction.
And you can't be crying about it. And you better not be getting drunk like Lot either. Gonna end up creating an abomination. You better praise him for his judgment, man. Get distressed and go to tripping in the wilderness. Where you think he took Lot to? To the wilderness to be tried? And he failed?
Well, he got his daughters got him drunk and put him to sleep. He was asleep. He wasn't conscious of what was going on.
But you know why he allowed himself to be given over to that?
Right, because he was mourning. He might have been mourning about the situation that happened with we lost his wife. You know, it could have been, it don't specifically say, but it could have been that he got.
Right. But what we can learn from that is that he had a different perception about the Most High's judgments.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
He had a different perception
of those judgments that he was in grief, that he was susceptible to be given over to a vain deceit. He was given over to drunkenness that caused him to commit an abomination. Judah told us about this kind of a lifestyle. About how you're supposed to maintain your modesty when you drink. And if you can't maintain your modesty, don't even touch it. You know? But, you know, we can't okay the sleeping with your daughters. That's going against the commandments.
Right. That's not what I was doing. I wasn't okaying that. That's abomination. That's matter of fact, that right there is that's incest and that's an abomination. What I'm just saying, according to what's written, it says that they got him drunk. They conceived amongst themselves to get their father drunk, and then when he was asleep, they did what they did when he was out, when he was unconscious.
So our people need to be on guard against that kind of a scenario. Be of a sound mind. Don't be able to be led astray, to be bewitched by your daughters, by your mama, by your dad, by nobody, to cause you to transgress the covenant, because that's what happened. He was able to be led astray and caused them to transgress the covenant. That's just point blank facts. Right or wrong?
Well, I beg to differ, my brother. And the reason why I say it didn't say that he did this. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Like, he didn't make that conscious decision to do it himself. He was almost in a way drugged, but drunken and put to sleep, and they did it to him. He didn't do it to them. They did it to him. So therefore, that's why, righteous judgment on that part right there is that, he didn't consciously make that decision himself. He was put in a drunken stupor where they did it upon him, not him on them. So that's why it was done. But still, yet it was still abomination because the children came forth. Should
a man allow himself to be made drunken to the point that he can't discern right from wrong?
No, it's just the same way with Noah, man. Noah was perfect in his generation and had favor. The Most High chose him and saved him, and he built a vineyard, and he got he drunk to the point where he was uncovered in his tent. And but to answer the question, no, you shouldn't be in the point where you'll be in a situation like that. Who would have known that his daughters would have came at him like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Imagine that was it was all new ground, but let's learn from our ancestors though.
Right, and that reason for doing it because they thought it wasn't no man around. They thought everything was destroyed. See, that area was destroyed, but they thought the whole planet, the whole earth was destroyed. So they felt like, man, look, let's get our father drunk because it ain't no man, and we, so they can have babies. That's what they thought. That was their reasoning. See, Lot didn't know nothing about none of that. You see what I'm saying? He just drinking, and he probably just mourning, and just drinking while he mourning, and drink to the point where he out of there, and then they going and they jumping, laying on their daddy. That's crazy, bro. It's wild, man.
Yeah. Oof.
Man.
What we at, 16? No, hold on. Turn on backside. 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass when ye be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, said Yahweh, they shall no more say the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done anymore. At that time, they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahweh, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it to the name of Yahweh, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk anymore after the imagination of their evil heart.
They shall not walk after the imagination of their evil heart. That's good. That's what need to be known right now, even today, because a lot of people do walk after the imagination of their evil heart and not after those sound words of the Most High Yahweh that he has given. They walk after the imagination of their heart. Go ahead, Al.
In those days, the house of Yehudah shall walk with the house of Yasharal, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. This has not happened.
Right.
Yehudah and Yasharal is not joined together. I don't listen. All this stuff about 12 tribes chart, not listen, man. It's people in Africa. It's people in Europe, in China, they're in the four corners of the globe. They have not all joined together in one accord and walked into the land. It's a prophecy that still ain't came to pass. But I said, how shall I put thee among the children and give thee a pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of nations? And I said, thou shalt call me my father, and shalt not turn away from me. That ain't happening. Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Yasharal, said Yahweh. A voice was heard upon the high places, weeping and supplications of the children of Yasharal, for they have perverted their way and have forgotten Yahweh their Allah. Return, ye backsliding children, always telling you to come back, and I will heal your backslidings. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art Yahweh our Allah. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in Yahweh our Allah is the salvation of Yasharal. For shame hath devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth, their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters. We lie down in our shame, and our confusion covereth us. For we have sinned against Yahweh our Allah. We and our fathers from our youth, even unto this day, have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh our Allah.
And real quick, family. When you hear, when you see that it says R, that right there is Allahenu, Allahinu, and so you put the N U, the noon and the UA on there, and you make it R. When you put the final kaf on there, and you make it your. So Allaheka, your, Allahenu, R, Allahi, my. You see what I'm saying? You make it personal when you're saying Allahi, my. When you're saying Allahenu, you're saying R. When you're saying Allaheka, you're saying your. Are you saying Allahekam? You saying their Allahim, or their mighty one. You know what I mean? So these are the different conjunctions that's on there, and I just wanted to share that with my people, man. So when y'all want to hear what was said, man, you can do some study and find out what I'm saying is valid as you go research and see what's being said. I just wanted to share that with you because teaching need to be brought forth. In order for correction to come forth, there have to be right teaching, so that it don't be producing the same thing that was done as in former times that we've been doing. So we got to get this thing correct in every form. As until then, and for that we can't, then the Most High will correct that for us, and He will return to us the pure language where we can call upon Him in that pure language where we won't have to be worrying about all this extra stuff. So that's all I want to share with my loved ones.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Jeremiah 4. If thou wilt return, O Yasharal, said Yahweh, return unto me, and if thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight. This is the basis for the return, people.
There you go.
This is the basis. If thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou not remove. And thou shalt swear, Yahweh liveth in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. And the nations shall baruch themselves in him, and in him shall they esteem. For thus said Yahweh to the men of Yehuda and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns. Circumcise yourselves to Yahweh, and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Yehuda and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Lest my fury come forth like fire. It's consequence now for not doing. This is what happens if you don't make it in time. So you find yourself in destruction, you must not have made it in time. And burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doing.
Now, let me show something. I want to share something to the people so they can see something. According to verse 4, it says, circumcise yourselves to Yahweh and take away the foreskin of your heart. He didn't say, wait for me and I'm going to come and do it. He said, you do this thing. Circumcise yourself, meaning listen and take heed to the instruction I was telling you. He gave you the instructions before we got to this verse on what to do if you decide to return. If you decide to return. That's why you got to pay attention to words. You got to listen. You got to pay attention, line upon line. Listen to what he's saying according to the instructions. Do y'all know how to listen and follow instructions? And if so, listen to what's being said. It said, if you will return, do this and that and this. Then it says in 4 down here, it says, circumcise yourselves and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Yehuda and inhabitants of Jerusalem, for fear, least meaning for fear my fury come forth like fire and burn that no one can quench it because of the evil of your doings. So this is something that you must do yourself.
Resist the devil and he will flee.
Draw closer to Yah and Yah will draw closer to thee. See, that's you doing it.
Talk about it. You can't pray this thing away. These are action things you got to do. Some won't come out, but from fasting and prayer.
Right.
You waiting on somebody to come cast these demons out of you. No, you're going to have to work them out yourself.
That's right. Hallelujah.
That's another thing we got. That's the stench of Christianity, thinking we can beg and plead for a lot of stuff to happen in our life. I usually pray for other people, man. I don't be praying for stuff for me because I feel like what's for me, the Most High made me able to get these things if I'm supposed to have them. If I ain't supposed to have them, I ain't gonna get them no way. Begging for them or not. You know, I pray for others, man. You know, but that's just me. Anyway, declare ye in Yehuda and publish in Jerusalem and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry, gather together, unity, and say, assemble yourselves and let us go into defense cities. This is where a lot of the brothers are crying out now, man. We crying for the gathering of Yasharal, man. You know, we crying for the assembly. Let's go assemble into defense cities and wait on the return of Yahweh, man, to come get us, man. It's air and opportunity out here, man. This is another thing I want to speak on, too. It's this big movement now of buying land. Everybody want to go get land. But it's a problem with that. People going to get land in separation, man. We need to try to pool and gather as many of us together in these locations, man. Quit trying to be so separate. We need unity. Because if the heathen come to take it, who you gonna have to help fight them off? You need unity. Unity of the brethren, man. So what if you got 20 acres to yourself? Okay, who gonna help you keep it? Who gonna help you hold it down? Who your children gonna grow up with? We need unity in all things, man. Stop this mindset of, you know, long as I'm okay, cool. No, man. We need to start thinking like a nation and quit thinking like sects and camps. It's 12 tribes.
One nation.
One nation. Set up the standard towards Zion. Retire. Stay not. For I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. Jacob's trouble was promised.
Talking about Jerusalem. There you go.
The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid without an inhabitant. For this gird you up with sackcloth. He's telling you to prepare. This already came to pass. But in so many ways, a new destruction is coming. A new judgment is coming, man. But I don't believe it's for the righteous to be caught up in this. Because the righteous is going to prepare. The righteous is going to, you know, gird up with sackcloth. Lament and howl. For the fierce anger of Yahweh is not turned back from us. And it shall come to pass at that day, said Yahweh, the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes and the priests shall be astonished, and the prophets shall wonder.
Now, real quick, I want y'all to see something now. I want y'all to see something because I know a lot of people probably went to sleep on this and didn't even see it and didn't even take heed to it and consider this. Now, according to this verse that's spoken right here, it says, and it shall come to pass that day, says Yahweh, that the heart of the king, no, wait a minute, for it says 8, verse 8 says, for this gird up with sackcloth, lament in half, for the fierce anger of Yahweh is not turned back from us. Now, mind you, previously, in the verses before, it said that Yahweh will not be angry forever if you do such and such. So why is his anger not turned back? Because they didn't do such and such. Did you get that?
Talk about it.
So I want y'all to see that. Get in Jeremiah. When y'all read Yirmiyahu 4, read verse line upon line. Even though they back then in the scripts and the scrolls and the Safaris, they didn't have it chapters and verses. It was just all writing out. But here we have it. Go there and read it and see what he's saying and see what he said, how his anger would not last forever if you do such and such. But they didn't do such and such. So therefore his anger was not turned back from him because they did not circumcise their hearts and heed what the Most High Yah said. So he had to bring that he said was going to bring upon them because they did not turn back.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Hey man, we know Yah's word is great, and if we could, we read the whole scriptures, the whole Bible to you in one sitting. But I want to find the part about in the context of the video to get to these pastors, man, to these leaders of the people. Let's kind of skip ahead and see if we can find this. I think it's up in the teens. I want to say it's up to 10. All right, let's start at 10. Jeremiah 10. All those who were following along, let's give you some time to get up to Jeremiah 10. Just a couple page flicks. Jeremiah chapter 10. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Yasharal. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of Shemaim, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid for them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Hold on, man. We're still not speaking on the pastors yet. Hold on. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Jeremiah speaking on not the words. Nicholas had forefathers, I say, so Judah. What is the part about the pastors and the leaders? Okay. I like this 14 here. Jeremiah 14. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. They cry. Huh? Oh. The word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah concerning the dirt. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. The cry of Jerusalem is going up, and their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads. Because the ground is chapped, and there was no rain in the earth, the plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. Yea, the hind is also calved in the field and forsook it, because there was no grass. And the wild asses did stand in the high places. They snuffed up the wind like dragons. What is dragons? Look up that thing, man.
And when you get done, when you're ready to go to the thing about the shepherds of the pastors, Jeremiah 23.
Okay. Where is that part about the dragons at? I want to see what they was talking about right there.
14.
No. Oh yeah. 14 and what? I just saw the cover their heads.
It's, 14 and 6.
Dragons, yeah. Tanaim. 2 words. The second form used, intensive, extensive, intensive, from the same as a marine or land monster. That is sea serpent or jackal. Sea monster, serpent, whale. Okay. That ain't what the movies tell us. Movies tell us it's a winged serpent, basically. All intents and purposes. Let me see here. "13. Then said I, Adonai, Yahweh, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place." This is what the pastor's telling you on Sunday. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. God's gonna bless you. Then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesied lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them.
Right.
Neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart.
So it's a deceit in their heart. It's the imagination of their heart. That's what they believe, according to what their heart dictate to them. They ain't caring about what the word of the Most High Yah say. They just following the dictation of their own evil imagination of their own heart. Y'all didn't send them. Y'all didn't tell them to speak. But they say Yah said, and Yah ain't say to them.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets. You gotta watch people calling themselves prophets too, man. That's
prophets and prophets.
Really, prophets is a heathen terminology. We would say Nabi. Right?
Nabaim is plural. Nabaim, like what we would say, prophets with an S. Nabaim is plural. The im on it is plural, but Nabi or Nab is a thing. Well, you say Nabi, my prophet or my speaker, my Nabi, Nabiim. Yeah, it's plural.
Concerning the Nabaim, that what would you call that? What would you call prophecy?
Chazal, prophet, prophesy, speaking. The bar, it's the same. It's like different words on there. Let me show. Let me go to it real quick. Yahoo 14 and 15 to make sure that I'm saying I'm on point with what I'm saying.
My brother,
we
getting a Hebrew lesson this morning from my brother. Give it to him. Give it to him. To me too, because I don't know.
Yahoo 14. We on 14. I'm making sure that I'm saying it correctly because we don't mislead around here. 14.
15. 14, 15.
Right, 14, 15. Okay, give me a little time, man. Give me a little shot. Let me get this real quick. My sister over there cracking up. 14. Let me see.
Sister in pain over here right now. This baby acting like it's ready to come, but it ain't coming.
Pop, go to Weasel.
I'm finna take on a walk today. She going to boot camp today. I've been gone. I'm here today. We're gonna do some walking. Try to induce this thing. Let it come. It might be in the by the night. Y'all willing.
Nabah. They use the word Nabah. Nabah is the word Nabah, that's Nun Bat Aleph, Nabah for prophecy. Nabah. The same thing is to prophesy is a Nabah. Nabah. So the word before that, which is prophet, is Nabaim. Nabai is a spokesman, a speaker, a prophet. So to prophesy is Nabah.
Nabaim, that Nabai.
Nabai, right.
Concerning the Nabaim, that Nabai.
Nabai, my name, right.
My name and my Shem. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Turning the Nabaim, that Nabai in my Shem, which is the Hebrew for name. And I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. So listen, me and my brother, we not saying ain't no sword coming. We telling you it's coming. We just trying to get you ready. Trying to get you ready mentally and spiritually. You know,
and this sword, right, real quick, and this sword is not coming upon the obedient. It says that the wrath of Yah is coming upon the children of disobedience. So that means them is not listening and obeying the word of the Most High Yah. That's who it's coming to. But for the righteous, all shall be well with you. But with the wicked, it shall not be so. Yeah. This is who the sword is coming upon.
And, you know, certain righteous men throughout time were, you know, that's really the only kind of destruction I've seen the righteous fall to is to martyrdom.
Right. For their own people.
Yeah. And it's for a testimony of them standing on the word of Yah and not folding, not compromising on Yah's word, that they would keep his word even unto death.
Right.
Please don't confuse that with Jacob's trouble, man, because everybody dying, you can't mix the righteous in with that. The righteous die separate. The righteous die when the wicked prevail. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they're going to be separate. They're going to be separate. And it's for the esteem of the Most High when they do die.
Mm-hmm.
Not in some FEMA camps where everybody's locked up and everybody's getting murdered and slaughtered, but it's whole they call it population control. Don't get it confused, man. That's gonna be for the wicked that didn't heed, that didn't gird up their loins, that they fell into the traps, into the snares of the heathen.
Also keep this in mind too, is that the nations may have a vision or a plan that they won't carry it out, but only the plan and vision of Yahweh, the Most High, is gonna stand. That lets you know that he rules. He's the ruler over all this thing. You know, whatever happened. That's why earlier it was said that don't nothing happen on this earth unless Yahweh give us consent to it. So regardless of what's going on, I don't care what it is. Look, whatever y'all want to happen is gonna happen. If you don't want it to happen, it's not gonna happen. Period. That's just how it is. He rules in the kingdoms of men. I don't care what he let this stuff happen because of us. And this is a chastisement to us to get us back in line and on track. You know what I mean? And then once we get back in line on track, of those that are going to get back in line and on track, there's going to come a judgment upon the world. And that world can be even the people that's of the people of the lineage or the bloodline that then took up on the same mindset of the nations.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you first.
Right. So there you go, man. That's all, man. Let's keep everything in its rightful place. And separate the true from the false and the Kadash from the profane, like priests are supposed to do. This is what me and my brother is doing. This is what my brother and I is doing. Children of the Most High Yah, we as children, and we bringing forth this distinction so people can know, so they don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued, and be discombobulated about the falsehoods and false teaching that people have been bringing. Now we're getting true light. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. You know, in my opinion, it could be fact, but I feel so strongly about it, in my opinion, that I feel that it's fact as well. I could be mistaken. But this whole tribulation doctrine is the Christian way of trying to include themselves on the positive side of prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to include themselves in the affliction and in the birthright of the righteous and the Kodash. They trying to say, you know, the tribulation and Jacob's trouble concerns them. And Hebrews is coming into the knowledge of who they are, but they still keeping certain Christian teachings.
Right.
You know, this is a thing that need to be purged, man. This is an idol that needs to be purged. This whole thing, listen, man. You don't need a chip in your hand to be antichrist. You was antichrist when you was in Christianity.
Right. Anti-Mashiach. You're right.
Anti-Mashiach, you was anti-word, you was anti-Torah then.
Absolutely. Facts.
So that's something the Christian can't point out. Because if the Christian point that out, then the Christian is going to say how their doctrine is a doctrine of wickedness.
Right. And people need to realize that these doctrines that they came with, that's coming from a Christian mindset. Who the one taught you about the mark of the beast and the chip and all this old stuff? Where did it come from? Christianity.
Christianity taught you this.
And then you take that and convert that over into this way and say, yeah, it's a chip and Jacob's trouble and all this old stuff based on the Christianity ideology of things.
You got to use, you know, common sense with the scriptures, man. Let's not act like people ain't got scriptures that they morph and twist for wicked purposes, man.
Right.
There was a man there's a man taught he was the Ruach HaKodesh in the flesh and got a whole congregation of people that followed him. A man say he David reincarnated in the flesh. Where is this stuff at in the scriptures?
Nowhere.
But they know how to take a script from here and a script from there and turn it into a whole doctrine.
And for another, real quick, for another one, for another thing to think upon is, since we've been a nation, man, there's been Daniel even had a vision of the 4 beasts, of a statue of 4 beasts. In his time, he was faced with either take the mark of the beast, of that beast, which was Babylon, which was the bowing down to a statue that the word of Yah tell us not to do. So that should be a sign for people to know and realize and see that it's about doing something contrary to what the laws, what the word of the Most High Yah has told us not to do. That's beastly. It's unwise, it's beastly, and Daniel was faced with that. So he was faced either take the mark of the beast or be thrown into the furnace. And we also, well, that was the 3 Hebrew boys, but we also see that they went into the furnace, the Most High comforted him and delivered him out of that. Daniel was faced with no praying toward the land to your Alai. I'll be thrown into the lion's den. And he still did it and didn't compromise and was thrown into the lion's den and was delivered out of that as well. Why? Because he honored the Most High and the Most High honored him. Because Yah honors those who honor him. Period. So you have to know how to honor him, because you hear these words and you thinking that some people may think that honoring him is saying hallelujah, thank you, Yah, and all this old stuff. No, honoring him is being obedient to the things he say. That's true honor.
Hallelujah. And to lamb back on that, you gonna get a mark one way or the other.
Facts.
Because it's 2 marks. This is what the Christian church don't never speak on. They don't never speak on the other mark.
That's right.
There is a mark of wickedness of the beast, and there's a mark of righteousness of Yahweh.
That's right.
That you have on the frontlets of your forehead. And in your
Speak on it. Speak on it.
The church don't never speak on that. They don't never speak on that. Because the opposite of that would be of wickedness.
That's right.
Because if his Torah and his word and his instructions is the mark of the righteousness, then
because it is
anti would be the mark of the wickedness.
Right.
They can't teach you certain things about this script and about the truth. They can't teach you because it'll lead you to the truth.
Right, and expose them. They don't
Tell
expose
you
them.
Hebrew names because then you'll go do your research on Hebrew people and find out they was dark-skinned people. That's why they give you these old Greek names, because Greek's gonna lead you back to Caucasian people.
Right.
You need to know what they're doing, man. That's why they knock off the noses of these ancient statues and these paintings, and they whitewash things. Because if they left them how they were originally, it's gonna lead you back to the truth. You know, and we got to start. That's what this podcast is about, man. Breaking down these idols and these things that people have come to accept and believe that's false. Tearing them down, man.
Tearing them down. That's right.
Tribulation doctrine.
Coming from the Christianity source. That's crazy.
The righteous are in tribulation because we've learned of Yahweh, we've learned of his ways, and we know what his judgment consists of. And we look out in the land and we see people going astray. We see people living contrary to how he would have them to live, and we know what they're going to get for it. So it's a burden. It gives us a heavy heart. Oppression make a wise man mad. How are you wise? When you learn to fear Yahweh. It's the beginning of wisdom.
That's right. That's right.
And you see people oppressed because they oppressed by wickedness. They don't fear. They don't reverence.
That's right.
Because they in bondage
You got a witness.
to Baal. That's what we face. That's what we got to deal with. We got to look out and see our family members in wickedness. Because with understanding comes responsibility. Now we see, and now we got to know. Now we got to go and try to preach and try to tell. You know what's happening? We being rebuked. We being mocked for having an understanding and for trying to give our understanding to others, by trying to sow seeds. That's what we going through.
Right.
We're not finna face no debt. If we face death, it's gonna come from our own people. That's what we gotta understand.
Right.
We ain't gotta worry about the heathen killing us. Our own people will, though. Because we'll prick their hearts to the point to where they'd rather kill us than to listen, than to heed.
Wow.
It's been happening. It happened to the prophets. It happened to the apostles.
Right.
The heathen didn't kill them. You niggas did.
Oh man. Hey, like Elder Yahweh, that's a lot of meat on that bone.
Line that up with Jacob's trouble.
Ooh, boy,
that the heathen didn't do it, that the niggas did.
They did, man. Them niggas did it, man. That's what they are. They that byword proverb named niggas, because Yasha'al, the true Yasha'al in every sense of the word, of the righteous, wouldn't do that. Niggas do that.
Now, there's a difference between nigga and Negro. Now, Negro is a hereditary thing. In certain cases, it was a characterization of a place and a people. They was called Negroes. That's where you get Negro land from. It wasn't derogatory. But nigga, it's meant to be derogatory. For you those of you that are wicked and that are, hard-headed and stiff-necked.
And niggerly.
It's meant for you to be told about yourself, to be the whole scriptures. Listen, man, me and my brother gonna be odd to some people because we seemingly come with aggression and we seemingly come with a hard hand. But that's the only way you gonna listen.
Y'all two peas in a pot. I see why y'all be reading together.
What she say? What's the say?
She said we two peas in the pod. You see why we click together.
Right. Together. Y'all knew what he was doing when he put us together.
Y'all knew what he was doing, man. It's time, man. It's time that two brothers stood up in the midst of all this prosperity preaching and this whole glorification of being a seed. People so happy with being a seed and being affiliated. We telling you it's deeper than that.
Right.
Pointing you to the deeper things of Yahweh, man.
That's right. Hallelujah.
Nobody got time to be claiming. It's like dudes and gang. Look, that stuff don't work in no other field. Cause you work for McDonald's, you can't be happy to have on the hat and the shirt. You don't know how to work the register. You don't know how to work the grill. You can't work the fries. You don't know how to do nothing affiliated with the company, but you happy to have on the shirt. Yahweh don't work like that. He said, come back to me, but you got to cleanse your ways. You got to do what he say. You got to know how to perform your office.
Mm-hmm.
The office of a man, the office of a wife, the office of a son. You got to know how to be a part of this. All these offices carry with them characteristics.
Right.
When he call us a woman and a wife, that's not being effeminate. He's saying refer to the characteristics of a wife, to the submissiveness, to the humbleness.
Right. That's good. Hallelujah.
Of a husband, to be the provider, to be the protector, to be the firm hand.
Mm-hmm.
Of the son, to be one that carries out orders, to be one that brings righteousness and esteem to his father.
That's right. That's right.
Not just be happy to be affiliated. You better put in some work with this thing, man. Too many niggas happy to be just affiliated. An abomination. Ain't no joining us, brother. We don't know who is it, babe.
No, this ain't the platform for that.
Azaria, we bring in brothers and sisters on the Chop Up podcast. Mark 69 is for me and my brother to address issues going on in Yasharal. We'll be more than happy after this podcast to have a chop up with any and everybody who would like to join. Send me your email and I will get you on to voice your opinions and views about anything in which you would like to discuss. But the Mark 67 podcast, I'm sorry, I keep saying 69. 69 just ringing out in my head as the number. But I'm referring to Mark chapter 6, verse 7. Where he sent them out by twos, brother. Not threes or fours, but by twos. I'm sorry, man. I just got riled up. The Ruach got on me right there, and I felt
man, Ruach, y'all have your way, do your thing, use them, brother. If you feel the Ruach moving on you to speak, do what you do. That's what it's all about. We let Yahweh have his way around here, like truly, not in pretense, sincerely.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise Yah.
Verse 16. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword. Now, we have to go back to 15 on this because we kind of got off of it. 15. Therefore, thus said Yahweh concerning the prophets, these pastors and these preachers and these mores that prophesy falsely, that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword. And they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters. For I will pour their wickedness upon them. Therefore, thou shalt say this word unto them. Let mine eyes run down with tears night and day. and let them not cease. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach, with a grievous blow.
With a very grievous blow.
If I go forth into the field, then behold, the slain with the sword. This happened in Jerusalem, but I believe it's going to happen again. It's going to happen in America. It's going to happen all over the world. This same prophecy. When I go forth into the field, behold, the slain with the sword. Dead people. Everywhere we go, we going to see dead people.
And if I enter into
the city, then behold, them that are sick with famine. Yea, both the prophet and the priest go about into the land that they know not. Hast thou utterly rejected Yehudah? Hath thy soul loved Zion? That's how bad it's going to be. The vision that he saw, it made him say, hast thou utterly rejected Judah? Hast thou loathed Zion? Why hast thou smitten us? I don't know why he asking these questions when the Most High done told him for 14 chapters what he gonna do and why he
got emotional. He got emotional seeing the stuff going on and not realizing the things that the people was doing. They brought that upon themselves. He got, you can get, sometimes it can happen like that, get emotional. Let me tell you something. When I seen certain things get, even me, when I was watching stuff and people getting gunned down and stuff like that, it pricked me, man, to see that was happening. Then I had to realize, and I know people don't be wanting to hear that. It's like, man, if they was following y'all, I know it, right? If they was following y'all wholehearted, like he said, it wouldn't have happened. That's why it's happening. But people don't see that in that moment. They just see the other nations and everything happening and the stuff that's happening to people, but don't see that the people is not walking in obedience to the Most High. Yeah, so you got to bring these out. When you bring it out, some people attack you for it.
No justice, no peace.
Right. No, exactly. Listen, hold on, wait a minute. That statement is a true statement. Yeah, no justice, no peace. Y'all have forsaken the habitation of justice, which is Yahweh, which he gave us his word and everything on what to do and everything, how to do things. And then you want to cry out about no justice, you right, no justice, no peace. You ain't gonna get no peace until you turn back wholeheartedly into the Most High.
Talk about it.
If you don't, you're gonna continue to be walking talking about no justice, no peace. You right. You ain't even knowing you being a witness against yourself. You right.
I gotta put that thing on a t-shirt. No commandments, no peace.
Man.
For real.
Hallelujah. People seem to forget all the time, man. They don't even realize. People don't consider. They don't, like my brother used to always say, because the word say it. They don't consider. They don't consider. They just go around just la-la land in it and just things happen and they crying out, not knowing. Listen, now you got people that's crying out and sparing out and telling you the reason why these things are happening. And then y'all want to take upon yourself and say, man, I want to get mad at the person that's getting mad at the messenger. Want to get mad at the messenger, bringing a message and trying to help you to turn from what you've been doing so that you won't have to go through that no more. See, and Leviticus 26 was saying that if you ain't changed by this, then I'm gonna bring 7 times more upon you.
But the hope is to get you to change. He don't. Listen,
right.
The destruction is a last resort. If you don't get nothing else from this, learn that the Most High is using destruction as a last resort, and even when he used it, he's still using it for the correction of those that see your destruction, and for your children's children, so he can call them into remembrance about what he had to do to you and why he did it. Because look, he's prophesying future destruction at the same time talking about past destruction.
Right.
So using it as a teaching moment.
And this stuff is written for our learning.
Me and my brother on here right now crying out to you. She's not gonna heal. So you know what? We got to tell your kids about what happened to you. Your parents fell because of this.
Right.
You might have to tell your children's children about you. That's, one thing about it. You gonna get a mark.
Yeah.
Which one you gonna get?
And Ock too, even though they had no choice because they came into a foreign land, and was beaten and stripped from their thing because they had to be destroyed, yet the Most High somehow, look, we came from a people that was stripped from our nature, from our heritage and everything, and taught their ways, and then the Most High all of a sudden raised up some to bring them back to the realness of it, and now it's going to show forth where you stand in this valley of decision. Who is for him and who is not for him? Even though we went through these situations, but the word is coming forth for people to turn wholeheartedly back unto Yahweh, according to turning to his word and his instructions, his commandments, his statutes, and things like that. Now we're able to see who is for who. You know what I mean? Even though we went through that hardship of not knowing who we were and destroyed, because the word of Yah had to be fulfilled. Scriptures cannot be broken. Yet he raised up people. He raised up people that would speak things according to his heart to the people, to get the people to turn unto him. It's a must, please. It's a begging, it's a plead, man, please. So you don't bring these hardships upon yourself. Turn to the Most High, Yah. What's wrong with doing right? What's wrong with loving the Father with all your heart, mind, and soul? With all your strength, and loving your brother, your neighbor as yourself? What is wrong with that? Nothing.
Talk about it. You know why? Because your flesh tells you don't do it. Your flesh tells you to hold on to rage instead of fleeing from rage and holding on to love. Your flesh tells you to hold on to greed, that you deserve this and you deserve that above any other. Your flesh tells you to worship this and worship that. You want to be a wild ass, sniffing the air freely and roaming about as you will. That's what's wrong with you. 19. Hast thou utterly rejected Yehuda? Hast thou loathed Zion? Why hast thou smitten us? And there is no healing for us. We looked for peace. There is no good. And for the time of healing, and behold, trouble. We acknowledge, O Yahweh, our wickedness and the iniquity of our fathers, for we have sinned against thee. Do not abhor us. See, this is a realization you got to come to. Acknowledge our wickedness and the iniquity of our fathers. We done wrong. Our forefathers done wrong, and we've sinned. To understand that you've sinned, you got to understand how you done sinned, what you done wrong. Now it's asking for forgiveness. Do not abhor us for thy name's sake. You got to realize that you are his namesake. Being Israel is his namesake. So by realizing who you are, you got to realize there's a code of ethics that come along with that. If you're the son of a king, you got to behave like a prince.
That's right, Op.
Act like a court gesture, like a harlot, like
a fool, like a jackass.
Do not disgrace the throne of thy esteem. Remember, break not thy covenant. That means you got to return to it. You can't be in the action of breaking it if you don't want him to break it. Because he said, if you do this, I'm going to do that. So you got to be of the mind that you're going to do what he asked you to do. So then you can ask of him to do what he said he was going to do. You can't ask him to do what he said and you ain't going to do what he told you.
Come on now.
Christianity.
That is, yes, Christianity and insanity. It almost sounds like that's insanity, because it is crazy. Christianity. Come on now. Hello, yeah, thank you.
22. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentile that can cause rain?
Nope. The vanity idols, the false deity.
Can the Shemaim give showers? Art not thou, O Yahweh, our Elohim? Therefore, we will wait upon thee, for thou hast made all things. Let's go to to that 20 something. What'd you say?
23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. This is the title of the video. I mean, we already touched on, because you got to understand the reason why y'all don't know certain stuff. For one, you ain't sought it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For two, because the blame have to be first on you before it can be passed to anybody else. And then for two, the ones with whom you expected to gain the knowledge from and the instruction from, they haven't given it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it say, you know, if you fail not to warn one from his sins, okay, he gonna pay for his sins, and you gonna pay for not warning them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be first in the singular and then to the plural. So now we finna get into the plural. We finna talk about the pastors and the leaders and the shepherds. Jeremiah 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastor, saith Yahweh. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, the Ala'i. I mean,
Yeah, Yashua.
Yeah, Yahweh, the Ala'i of Yasharal against the pastors. As when you go to church on Sunday, Christian, pull your pastor to the side and show him Jeremiah 23 and say, who is this? Who he talking about? Against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away. Where have you driven them to? And have not visited them. You done drove them away and ain't brought them back. Ain't even trying to bring them back. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries. This is what the Christian church try to call the rapture. They're not going to the Shamayim. Countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. It's going to be some baby making going on.
Oh, and that's going to be in the, right, that's what I'm talking about too. That's what it's going to be in the land, the fold. Remember, Mashiach said when he was talking to his disciples and talking about others, he said, sheep that I have that's not of this fold, them I also must bring. Bring where? Bring to the land. I fold.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah.
And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them. Righteous shepherds, righteous pastors. Some people try to take this verse and apply it to right now and claim themselves to be the shepherds that's feeding them. No. No. Now, if you are a good shepherd, all praises to the Most High for steadfastness.
Right.
Heed to his word. Right.
Right.
All praise to you. Don't think I'm condemning all heads of congregations, that I'm condemning all pastors and things of that nature. Because there are people that are just under a vain delusion. I pray that you be released from your vain delusion, and that when you find the truth, you turn and be converted. Don't stay because you said you've been a pastor for 20 years, you've been preaching this thing for so long, and you didn't got too old to change now. Don't be of that mind.
Right.
No, be willing to convert and to do what's right if you have been under a vain delusion. When the Most High, breaks the scales from your eyes, continue on in righteousness and with boldness.
Right. And let me point this out too for the people too, so they can know that within context of this script, the Most High said he's going to bring them to their own folds. And then a continuation of that statement is, and I will set up shepherds over them that shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, no business made, neither shall they be lacking, said Yahweh. So this is talking about in the land.
Yeah.
Even though the Most High's got people that's, turning and doing things now, but in context of this script of this, what this is saying, that the Most High is going to bring his people back to their own land, and then he will set up shepherds over them that shall feed them. So we got to stay in context here. Hallelujah. Get what I'm saying? Hallelujah.
Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
That's right.
So it's a judgment coming with him.
Right.
In his days, Yehudah shall be saved, and Yasharal shall dwell safely.
This haven't happened yet. Oh, time, what did happen?
That's crazy. It just blacked out.
Oh, they don't like the message coming for? Oh, they bringing truth. Shut them off.
Shut them off. Jingle wire, Jim. Come hither. What is it?
23. Yeah. Calm down right there. In his days, 6, 23 and 6.
Okay. In his days, Yehudah shall be saved, and Yasharal shall dwell safely. And
this haven't happened yet.
Huh?
I just wanted to bring out to the people that this is yet to come. It says, in his days, Yehudah shall be saved, and Yashal shall dwell safely. Oh. And this is his name whereby he shall be called Yahuwah Sadachnu. That's Yahweh righteousness. Yahweh is our vindication. Oh, yeah. Sadachnu. Some people say Sadiqnu. It's Sadachnu. Yahweh Sadachnu. All righteousness. Yeah. Sadiqnu.
I never heard the new on there, but all praises for that.
Yeah,
therefore, right. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Yasharal out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Yasharal out of the north country. All praises. That's what my brother talking about all the time. He said, man, I'm just ready to go. I'm just ready to go to the land.
Man, I'm telling you.
This is what my brother is hoping on. Verse 8 right here. And from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So be it.
Yeah.
Mine heart within me is broken because of the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
My heart is broken too. I look out and I see some of these teachings going on, man, and this prosperity doctrine. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine had overcome because of Yahweh and because of the words of his kodashness. For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, saith Yahweh. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, said Yahweh. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err. This is in the past, but it's also in the future. It's happening right now. It's going to happen tomorrow in droves in churches all over the world. It's happening in some churches in congregations today with people in the truth.
Right. So called in the truth.
Christianity. I'm sorry if it seems as if I'm just a harper on Christianity, but Christianity is the mother of a lot of these falsehoods, man. And the father is Babylon. So it all, they came together to produce all these abominations, man. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem and horrible things.
Horrible thing.
It ought to be a, and does not go right there. And goes before a vowel. Just a little English lesson for you right there. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness. This is what the pastors are doing right now. Hamashiach said, you take a proselyte and make him twofold.
A son of hell.
A son of hell than he was before. It said you won't allow him to change. You won't allow him to turn from his wickedness. That's the paraphrase. You won't do it and you won't allow him to do it. Same thing. See how Hamashiach was full of precepts of the Torah, and Paul was full of precepts from the Torah, man. Same thing, man.
Mashiach, you know what? Mashiach is full of because he's the Ruach of prophecy. That's who he is. He the one that spoke these things. He's the word. The Ruach of prophecy.
He's the word that appeared. He's the word.
Yeah, so this is him. This is him. This is the word that's speaking. It's him. He knew. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
Therefore, thus said Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Sabaoth, concerning prophets, or the Nabaim. Behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness. From the Nabaim of Jerusalem is profaneness, gone forth into all the land. Thus said Yahweh Sabaoth, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy falsely unto you. No, that prophesy
unto you, right?
They make you vain.
What they do?
Speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of Yahweh.
Man, they speak a vision of their own heart and not of the mouth of Yahweh. I've been in a place where the two people came and prophesied over me, and two of them was totally different. Of their own heart. Go ahead.
Stuff that we speaking it out of the scriptures. We telling you the scriptures and we expounding on them. But even in our expounding, you can relate them or correlate them back to the scriptures. We're not just creating just our own dialogue and giving it to you.
Right.
Okay. When you prove us, when you judge our speech, refer to it in the scriptures. But you need to be familiar with the scriptures to even go into it.
I'm telling you.
Because if you're a novice with these scriptures, you're going to take all we saying in vanity. You're not going to try to, use the scripture as a rod, as a stick, to compare them to. So you need to become masterful in the scriptures. You need to become a discerner of the scriptures, because I'm not one of them brothers who gonna tell you chapter and verse all the time. But if you're familiar with the scriptures, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's in the script.
Right. You have a witness within yourself. Right.
Yeah. Because you can't show me where Paul and Hamashiach told you chapter 10, Jeremiah, verse such and such. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. They say it is written. If you're not familiar with what's written, you're not going to understand what they're talking about.
Right. Come on now. There you go.
Same thing here. I'm going to tell you it's written. You ought to know that what I'm going to speak of, I'm going to speak of what's written. If you don't understand it, then you ain't going to understand it, even if a Malak came and told you.
Right. And it doesn't mean, even because a person don't give you chapter and verse, as if they don't know what they're talking about. If you know the chapter and verse, are you familiar with what the person having? You have a witness within yourself. You know that the person is talking truly when they talking truly according to the script. They don't got to have chapter and verse like he's saying. Oh man, I ain't listening to him. He can't even quote the chapter and verse. That ain't what determines whether you know or not. That ain't what determines if you walk in righteous or not either, because you know a chapter and verse.
The reason I don't pride or see a lot of necessity in a lot of things, because I see people that do it to the fullest and it don't profit them none.
None.
It's some wicked men that know chapter and verse of almost everything.
Right.
They can go right to it, pull it right up for you.
Right. Give me what you call it, Malachi and 65. Give me such and such and this, give me such and such and this, and they doing all kind of wrong. They ain't loving their brother themselves, just sitting there, just false interpreting and all kind of stuff, man. But they can give you chapter and verse.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well studied.
Come on,
but
man.
these pages ain't became life for them.
Right. It ain't written on their own heart.
Yeah. I focus on these words becoming life to me before I invest any kind of.
That's why we two peas of the pie. Because that's the same way I am. Tudaya. Hallelujah. That's right. Facts.
I just want to throw that out there, man, because you can't be fooled by now. A brother don't have long fringes to draw you. He don't sit in high places, although some do. Some got long fringes and some sit in high places to deceive you. But a lot of them deceive you with being able to recount scriptures, being able to sound authoritative and sound well studied.
Mm-hmm.
But if you well studied, you could discern and see that ain't been profiting them.
Mm-hmm.
I know brothers that's well studied, they can't keep a job. They ain't got their own place. They catching all hell out here. What have that well studied done for them? Has it made them a strong tower? Has it brought them from being effeminate to being masculine?
Right. From wickedness to righteousness.
Effemination comes from not holding the office of a man, of a provider, of a protector. Can't be no man. You're not holding that office. You're not a leader. You're not a king and a priest in your household. To not do so is to be effeminate.
Right. And then I also want to share this too, real quick, for the people. Don't get it twisted. There was people, Yahushua lived in the wilderness and was bringing the message that he had for the people in the time. The Mashiach didn't even have a place to lay his own head. Yet he applied the words that the Most High Yah gave him, and he was fully obedient to the thing. So don't think that the abundance of material stuff is what determines what if a person is righteous, or if a person is doing right according to the Most High Yah. That ain't the case.
Well,
they
forsook those things. They could have had those things if they want them. It's people that can't get them if they want them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They had different offices. The priests had to be given those things because their office that they carried made them put their attentions elsewhere. They couldn't be concerned with the maintaining of a household. John couldn't be concerned with the maintaining of a household. He had to be about the office. It's different. If you homeless because you out spreading the word in different cities and doing certain things, that's different. That's different. But that's not a lot of brothers' testimony. It's some brothers' testimony that they just lazy as hell. You get what I'm saying? So, that's what I was speaking to, because one, you can't take this stuff into the kingdom with you, and you can't pay Yahweh with it. So obviously, it's not the sign of
righteousness or doing right. But the thought came to my mind to bring that out, man, because the people, y'all know the hearts and minds of people, of men. Y'all know exactly what it is, and y'all would also put things upon people's heart to speak on and stuff like that, to don't get things twisted, because sometimes people cloud things together and understand what's really being said and what's really being done. There's a big difference between, because there's people that are doing this work and going out, and there's people that don't take jobs or have jobs, but these jobs require them to do certain things. It's against Torah, and they don't do it, and they don't follow that. You see what I'm saying? But then the Most High still provide for them and still take care of them. Like that.
You still holding on to certain characteristics. It's a reason why you go without. There's a reason behind it. a righteous reason. So we can't confuse righteous refraining from just unrighteous slack.
Right. Lackadaisicalness. That's why it just had to be a distinction, because sometimes people, that's the reason why the priests are priests, man. The purpose of the priest is to make a distinction between Kadash and profane. But people in today's time has put it all together, and they don't even discern the difference between the two of anything, rather it be right, good and right, light and darkness, profane and kadashness, and all these old things. So you got to be a distinction, which come with teaching, right teaching, to make a distinction thereof. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm.
And Yehukanan and Hamashiach, they were masculine in their offices that they held. It said Hamashiach spoke as one with authority.
Right.
John spoke as one with authority. They fulfilled what they was called to do. They weren't here to make families and to have sons and to be of that accord. They were set apart for Yah's work.
Right. Or to be get prestige in this world and high offices and working and all this old stuff. Now they was set apart. That's why he said he was dressed the way he was dressed, and he ate what he ate, and he was doing what he was doing because he had a work to do, and he fulfilled that work, and he couldn't be distracted with the other things or the cares of the world.
Yes. Now, for all you brothers that I don't
even
want
the priests that was husbands, they still had to do the thing. That's why the priest was giving commands in regards of the wives that they had to choose. That they had to marry a virgin. You know what I mean? They couldn't just marry any woman because of the offices that they had, the offices they moved in. Kepha, you had prophets, you had the Talmudeans and disciples that had wives, but still yet had to go forth and do the work.
Yes. And they had pretty much the office of almost like a Levite, whereas they were funded and helped along because of the work they did. Mm-hmm. But it's brothers that's not what's going on with them, man. I just want to be honest. It's brothers that's just instead of enduring and persevering, they let whatever's going on be the excuse for why they don't accomplish. It's brothers that, okay, listen, one job don't hire me. I'm going to go seek out. I'm going to go find a way, make a way at all costs. Mm-hmm. Like you do one thing. When one thing's not producing how you would like it to produce, you go and find something else. You go to roofing. You go to, moving stuff. You do whatever it takes to be able to bring an increase. That's the office of a man.
That's right.
Rain, sleet, or snow, you got to make it happen. But it's brothers that'll be like, well, ain't nothing going on right now. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to sit on the couch, play the game all day.
Smoke the weed.
That's effeminate. A man gonna make a way because something got to be provided for. Mm-hmm. You got a wife, you got a rib, you got responsibilities. Even if she has an income or whatever, that's not enough for a man. For a man, it's like I gotta contribute. I got to bring forth as well.
Right.
That's how a man thinks. It's brothers that'll just sit and just live off their women for as long as they want to. You know what I'm saying? That's a feminization to me.
Right. Yeah, not to be.
Let's pull up a feminine. Let's look it up and see. Let's look it up and see what a feminization is. Because it said the effeminate won't enter into the kingdom.
That's right.
Worse than what?
Of a man having or showing characteristics regarded as typical of a woman, unmanly. A Femininity is the manifestation of traits in a boy or a man that are more often associated with feminine nature, behavior, mannerism, style, gender roles, rather than with masculine nature, behavior, mannerism, style, or roles. It is a term frequently applied to womanly behavior, demeanor, or style.
Right. Talk, movements, behaviors. A man like a woman, that's feminized, effeminate. Same thing, like almost like what you call that flamboyant faggot. It's gay people.
Oh yeah.
You know how they, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We don't have to shy away from none of these words. We might get blocked on YouTube, but hey, it is what it is. They are who they are.
Right.
We're gonna get flagged. They flagged us. The algorithm got us.
Dang.
Booty bandits.
Man. Sweet boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny bunny.
Sugar plums.
Man. Flaming Frito. Flaming Frito. Flaming one.
Like my brother used to call them. Duke buddies.
Right. Oh man.
Oh man. 17. They say still unto them that despise me. Yahweh had said, ye shall have peace. Back to talking about the pastors and the leaders, how they deceive the people who are in wickedness now. You know, people that are in wickedness, instead of instructing them about their wickedness, instead of trying to get them to change and to return to the Most High, they tell them everything's fine. God understands. Jesus understands. That's what they telling the people. Ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come to you.
After the imagination of their own heart, they say, no evil shall come upon you.
There's a thing going on in Yasharal with some of these groups. They telling men that because they Yasharal, they got dominion. And whatever they decide to do, they right in doing. You take as many wives as you want, whether you can afford them or not. You can hoard these wives. You know, you can steal. You can sell drugs. You can do drugs. You can do whatever your heart desires, because you of the nation of Yasharal, and you gonna get into the kingdom. And one day you gonna have you a little slave, a little white slave, a slave of the other nations that's gonna be at your beck and call. And you're gonna have multiple wives that you can sleep with when you get ready. You can have orgies and threesomes.
They lying to them. They lead them astray to destruction. That's crazy.
You can sleep with prostitutes and with little 12, 13-year-old girls. You can have all manner of wickedness, the imagination of your own heart. And no evil shall come upon you.
Speak on it, Doc.
You can do cocaine. You can smoke crack, cigarettes, and reefer. You do all this. And no evil shall come upon. You can sleep with somebody that's not your wife, not your husband. Well, no. They don't let the women do that. Unless it's one of them.
But the man can sleep with another man's wife.
Man can sleep with another man's wife. It's okay. He weak. That's what they say. He weak. You take him. You the strong one. Or the leaders be like, they can pick and choose which one of the members' wives they can sleep with.
If he marry her,
they the servant of the Most High.
Word.
Wickedness. What's going on in Yasharal today? Christianity plays a part in this. You know why? God understand the laws done away with. All the laws that tell you don't do such things is done away with.
Right.
New covenant, what they say. We under new law, new understanding, new way of life. Yeah, Baal. And that ain't new at all.
Right, that ain't.
What's going on? Yep. The imagination of his own heart is the equivalent of do as thou wilt.
Whatever your heart dictates to you, you follow. You can do that. Do as you will.
Alistair
Do whatever
Crowley.
your heart tell you.
Alistair Crowley and all them.
Do whatever your heart tell you. Don't care. It don't matter about what Yah has already preset for people to follow. Just do what your heart say.
Yeah. Follow your heart, baby.
Follow your heart, baby. Nah.
For who had stood in the counsel of Yahweh and had perceived and heard his word? Who had marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. Jacob's trouble. You know why Jacob was troubled? Because of his wickedness.
That's right.
They don't talk about that. They act like it's a persecution. Ain't no damn persecution. It's a judgment. Quit lying to folks.
Yeah.
It's a persecution. It's like you being done wrong. No, you wasn't being done wrong. You was paying a debt.
That's right. You was paying a debt.
Done. Quit lying. 20. The anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly for a sign and a wonder. Me and my brother then considered it. And now we done formulated why. We know why. We've been wicked as hell. We had to pay for it.
Right.
Some that woke up, some that heeded and then changed. Others have not. That's why they are yet to suffer and yet to pay. Don't be astonished when the judgment comes. Don't be shocked. We telling you today is coming. We're not telling you peace is coming. We're telling you judgment and damnation is coming.
That's right. That's right. Hallelujah. That's right.
And we're telling you why. Nobody finna hold your hand. You not gonna say, ain't nobody told you, Jack. I keep going back to that. It was a cold. Ain't nobody
told you, Jack. Hey, what was that on, man?
That was on that Jay-Z album, on the Black album. So you're not gonna be able to say, ain't nobody told you, Jack. But he took it from something else. So probably from, a movie or something. I don't know. I just call hearing it there. You're not gonna say ain't nobody told you, Jack. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. Nigga said, Most High spoke to me in a dream. That I go and do this, I go and do that. I say, ain't told these folks nothing. I didn't start this podcast because of no dream.
Right.
Started this podcast because it ain't one.
It was a need.
It was a need. But if they had stood in my counsel, I stood in this counsel. I didn't do it on my own accord.
Right.
It's the scriptures that made me realize it was a need.
Right.
I see what the scriptures say to talk about this and talk about that. Then I see where it ain't been talked about.
Right.
So I stood in this counsel. But if they had stood in my counsel and caused my people to hear my words, that's what I'm bringing to you, his words. That's what me and my brother bringing to you, his words. Yeah, we expound. But you see, we read most scriptures than we doing talking. Or our talking is based upon the scriptures.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that. Even our talking is based on scripture.
And cause my people to hear my words. Then they should have turned from their evil way and the evil of their doings.
And from the evil of their doings, right.
I am a Allah.
He said, am I Allah at hand?
Well, here you would say mighty one, right? Just in its own
so you can
like a mighty one. Am I a mighty one at hand?
All right.
Right?
We
Am I wrong?
can go with that. Yeah, he's a mighty one. He's the mighty one. So he's asking you, is he the one and is he not the one in hand? Go ahead. You right, Doc, I'm with you. I'm
Said
just like to put it.
and not a Elohim or far off. He's saying, I'm here. I'm not way off. He's standing at the door and knocking. But it's going to take action to go open it. He said, you got to go open. He didn't say, I'm kicking the doors down. He said, I'm here waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
Where you been?
So that word right there is ha-alai. It's ha-alai. Yeah, so that's ha-alai. Am I not? Yeah, ha-alai. It got a hey in front of it. So it's ha-alai. And hand. I need.
Can anyone hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him?
Nope.
David said, wherever I go, you're going to see me. Said Yahweh. Do not I feel Shemaim and Yerat?
Yep.
Said Yahweh. I have heard what the prophet said. That prophecy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. Listen, man. I ain't dreamed nothing. Ain't no.
I ain't dreamed nothing.
I ain't had no visions. I ain't had none of that. If anything, I done had strong convictions about my people and about what's going on in Yasharal. I'd had strong considerations. So my people perish because they don't consider. I've been considering the Most High. I've been considering His people. I've been thinking on it. I've been analyzing and watching.
Right.
Telling you about no dreams I done had. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
The prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
That's what they're telling you.
Man.
Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams. We're not leading you from the Most High. We're trying to point you to Him.
Right.
How great we are. We're trying to tell you about who He is, the way He demands. We're trying to tell you
what He expects.
What He's paid for. Not what He's called. We're telling you what He's called too. But let's look up name, man. So these people don't think we just talking.
Yeah, name ain't just a Phoenician sound of a name. It's a character. It's
come along with
characteristics. Right. What do you call it? Reputation. What one stands for. Let's get into it. Meaning of name.
Or hold on. Dictionary.
Say the name meaning in Hebrew. How about that?
All right. Real quick, let's take it to the English. A word or phrase that constitutes the distinctive designation of a person or thing. A word or symbol used in logic to designate an entity. A descriptive, often disparaging epithet. Reputation. An illustrious record. A personal thing with a reputation. What is the Most High's reputation? Appearance.
Justice, right ruling, righteousness.
Right. A name and authority. For the reason, using the excuse of. To give a name, to call, a mention, to mention or identify. To nominate for office, to appoint, to decide on, to choose. Adjective, there we go. Of relating to or bearing a name, appearing in the name of a literary or theatrical production, having an established reputation. What a person stand for, man. What they about. Now, let's go to the Hebrew of the thing. Let's pull this up. What was we at? 27. My people to forget my name. Shem. A primitive word, perhaps rather through the idea or definite and conspicuous position compared as a mark or memorial of individuality.
By implication.
Fame, famous, named, the name, infamous.
Go back up, go back up, go back up, go back up, go back up. And that black are italic letters, character. Go back down. Go down, right there. Character.
Oh, yeah, character. Honor, authority, character. Famous, renowned. You know, to be renowned is to be what you're known for. When Hamashiach said, when you are gathered in my name, he's not talking about Jesus. He's not talking about Yahushua or Hamashiach. He's talking about what he stands for.
Right.
What is he? It's the Most High's word made flesh.
Right.
His Torah, his instruction, the truth, the way, the light. That's what it means to be gathered in his name, to be gathered in truth, to be gathered in light, in righteousness.
Right.
People don't know. People worried about what name they utter out their mouth. No, it's about the way you live. Now it helps. You should call a person by, incorrectness. His name ain't Brad. What you gonna call him Brad for?
Right, and then you walking in a place and say he in there, his name John, and you walking in a place that's full of people, and you talking about John, you talking about Brad. John ain't gonna turn around, and if he do turn around, he turn around to see what's going on, but he ain't answering because his name ain't John.
Yeah. Now, if you come to him in his name, it's different. It's different when you come in his name, but it's hard to come in his name when you don't know what his name is as far as what he stands for.
What he stands for, that's
because
right.
The name brings a certain order, a certain way of going about. Christianity can't never understand his name. Right. Because they have separated the way you go about even inquiring of him or even earning his presence to be around you. If you think the law is done away with, then you can't never be connected to his name because his name is connected to the law.
Right. That's right.
That might have went over some of y'all heads. You need to think on that. You think on
Please.
that. There's a lot of meat on that bone.
A lot of meat on that bone.
Where we at, man? Because we need to get this thing knocked out here. It's gonna be the last thing. We're gonna finish this out.
Okay. Go on down. You still on down. You gotta go to. I know we passed 23. Okay. Yeah. What's our last?
Let's start at 27.
Okay.
Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for they are. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, said Yahweh? Is not my word like as a fire, said Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophet, said Yahweh, that steal my words, everyone from his neighbor. Behold, I am against. These are the people that go contrary to the Most High's words.
Right.
Say it's because of something the Most High showed them. The Most High don't go against his word. So somebody tell you, I know it say this, but see, in a dream, the Most High came and told me this. That's prophesying falsely.
Right.
It's not a bad thing to prophesy when you do it correctly.
Right.
He's talking about the people that do it wickedly and falsely and that steal his words from his neighbor. When a person
Right.
is known to a true word, he'll come a prophet talking about the Most High told them something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's wickedness. He told me to start this and start that. When that ain't nowhere in the scripture.
That's why he said, let the person that got the dream, the prophet that had a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that had my word, let him speak my word trustworthy, faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat? The wheat is the word, and the chaff is those dreams that they have, and it's contrary to Yah's word. Say Yahweh, that's basically what's being said, right?
The chaff is gonna be burned up. The wheat is
exactly
gonna be killed.
Because his word is like fire. And what is the chaff to the wheat? Look, what is chaff to fire? Nothing but fuel for it. Burns it up. Straight up, man.
Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, said Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness, half-ass in these scripts, out here playing. They light. They're not heavy in these scripts. Into the meat. They out here with titty milk. Playing. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all, said Yahweh. Because if you're not bringing the scripture, you're not bringing a strong foundation.
Right.
A person going to be out here with a gun with no firing pin. What good is it?
Nothing.
And when this people or the prophet or a priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yahweh? Yahweh, thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake you, said Yahweh.
Calling it a burden.
And as for the prophet, yeah, that's what I'm listen. Those of us that's holding on to y'all's word, man, we can't be slack in telling what's going on. When we see destruction, we got to let people know why. We can't say, what destruction? What you mean? Everything's fine. Ain't nothing wrong. Everything's cool. No, we got to tell them why. You know, or we going to be forsaken.
Well, yeah, that's true what you're saying. We got to tell them. However, in this script right here, it was telling them, they was asking, saying, what is the burden of Yahweh? First of all, they coming disrespectful. They saying that the Most High Yah's word is a burden. So they saying, what is the burden of Yahweh is what these people asking. Then they shall then say to them, what burden? I will even forsake you, said Yahweh. It'll go on, it'll explain it when you go on down as well.
All right. Well, I may have misspoken right there. Let's keep going. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of Yahweh, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say every one to his neighbor and every one to his brother, what had Yahweh answered, and what had Yahweh spoken. And the burden of Yahweh shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden.
Yes.
For ye have perverted the words of the living Allah of Yahweh Zabaoth, our Allah. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what had Yahweh answered thee, and what had Yahweh spoken?
Now, hold on real quick. Before you go on, they're going on upset when they were saying, the people came to him and said, what is the burden of Yahweh? So most Yahweh, the father had to correct him and said about, don't say that. Don't do that. If you say that, I'm going to forsake you. So he said, when people ask, you come to him and say, what have Yahweh said? Or what have he answered? You see what I'm saying? So go ahead, up. He says, but since ye say, matter of fact, let me read this. I'm going to read this. 38 says, but since ye say, the burden of Yahweh, therefore thus says Yahweh, because you say this word, the burden of Yahweh, and I have sent you unto you, saying, you shall not say the burden of Yahweh. Therefore, behold, even I will utterly forget you and will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. because you calling his word a burden. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you. That because when I just said, and because you calling Yahweh his word a burden is an extra that I'm putting on there to let you know that that's the reason why he's doing it, because you calling his word a burden. Now I'm reading the verse where it says 40. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you and a perpetual shame which shall not be forgotten. 41.
I don't have a 41.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. 41. So that's the reason why I'm talking about 41. That's the reason why he was saying it, because they was calling his word a burden. And he said, you don't say, don't come to him talking about what the burden of Yahweh. Come and say, what has Yah said? What have Yah spoken? What is the answer of Yahweh? Not a burden. His word is not a burden. Your word is a burden, not his.
Talk about it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right. Well, bring this thing back. We 3 hours in on this thing.
Yeah, bringing it back to Mashiach when he was talking about the Pharisees and stuff like that, about the burdens that they put up on the people, nor do they even try to lift up their hand because they teaching their own words and not the words of Yahweh, which is a burden. It's heavy. It weighs down. So when you follow the word of Yahweh, it's not. It's to bring forth deliverance. Otherwise, if you don't hear and take heed, it's to bring on destruction. But it's not a burden. Everything that the Most High has been telling us and give us instruction, what we just read right there, is giving people knowledge to know what to do to get up out of the situation where they don't have to be destroyed, where they don't have to go through these things. And his word is not a burden, nor have his word ever been a burden. That's what he was telling the people. Don't say that. They was coming to him talking about what is the burden of Yahweh. Nah, if you're gonna come correct. His word is not a burden. Don't even say that. If you say that, I'm gonna forsake you. I'm coming straight against you. Because my word is not a burden, said Yahweh. That's what he's basically saying. It's not a word, it's not a burden. Your own word is a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Hamashiach said his yoke is easy and his burden is light, he was referring to like the guidance and the ownership, because you're gonna have a master. It's gonna either be Yahweh or Hasatan, and what he's saying is that it's not grievous. His word ain't grievous. The commandments ain't grievous.
Right. That's what that's what the line I was talking about in regards to being a burden. His word is not grievous. His word is not a burden. It's to help. It's to enlighten. It's to correct. It's to rebuke. It's to to get things. If you off, it's supposed to. It's supposed to get you back on track. You know what I mean? But if you refuse to take heed, what is there left for the Most High to do to you? What is there left? So his word is not a burden, man. That's exactly what I meant when I said that. When I said, that it's not grievous. His commandments is not grievous. His instructions is not grievous. It's not a burden. But that's how the mindset of the people were back in those times. And it may be the same thing today.
That's what is not a burden. Chris is saying it's too hard. It's too hard. Yeah. It's that it's so hard it had to be done away with. That's basically what they're saying. That it's grievous. So had to tear that down. That's actually a great closing, to the whole thing, because it brought it full circle. All praise to the Most High, man.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Yahweh, for your word coming forth and expounding on your word. Thank you for your Ruach HaKadosh, your Ruach Hamad, the Ruach of truth, the Ruach of prophecy, getting things straight that's been misinterpreted and misunderstood. We thank you, Yahweh, for bringing this forth for us. So we praise you. I'm thanking you and praising you that you give us the ability to know these things, to even speak on these things, and even to be worthy vessels to use by you to bring forth these things, Yahweh. We praise and thank you, Abba Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Mashiach. Thank you, Abba. Hallelujah. Thank you. That's praise. That's what I'm praising.
So,
yeah,
man. So, it's been another Mark 67 podcast. If if anybody would like to partake in a group chat and a chop up, in the chop up podcast, we are willing and ready to do such. So we got 3 people on the line. If any of you 3 would like to be a part of the chop up session, you want to get on here and talk and converse about any of these subjects or any other subject that is on your heart, on your mind, you can converse with your brothers.
Hallelujah.
Email in the chat or send it directly to my messenger, Brandon Lewis on Facebook, and we'll get you in there. We'll definitely get you in there. So until next time, we say, give y'all is Rainbow back and 12 tribes.
One nation.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.